is a presentation of WGN Sports.
The beginning of last season was one the Cubs and their fans would certainly like to forget. It took the Cubs a National League record 15 games to earn their first W of 1997. But this, friends, is a new year with a fresh beginning, and the Cubs are looking to make a division run. Last night's win was no April Fool's joke as Mark Clark ended a 7-game losing streak in Miami with a career-high 11 strikeouts. While last year's start was offensive to some, the beginning of this season has been full of offense. Henry Rodriguez got it started on Tuesday, and the bats have stayed red hot. 16 runs, 20 hits in the season's first 2 games, and Kevin Orie the offensive hero last night. The Cubs would love to bring a winning record home to the friendly confines. They go for it next. It's time for Cubs baseball, and if you're in the neighborhood down here in South Florida, stop on by. A very small crowd on hand for the rubber match of this 3-game set between the Cubs and the Florida Marlins from Pro Player Stadium. Hi again, everybody. Chip Carey along with Steve Stone. It is a new year, Stoney. Last year's 0-14 start now obviously a thing of the past, and offense the key for the Cubs in the first 2 ball games.
And Kevin Orie is one of the keys. He's driven in 5 runs in 2 games. Yesterday, just missing the cycle. Kevin Orie has hit everything in sight. Sammy Sosa's hitting the ball to right field, driving in runs, and the offense has been a big story. But Mark Clark yesterday, a tremendous start.
And Lance Johnson, some great defense in center field as well. But for the Cubs today, another rookie making his major league debut as he faces this Chicago lineup. Rafael Medina takes the hill for the Marlins.
Well, Medina came over from San Diego. He was with the New York Yankees before that. And Medina has a pretty good fastball, but last year, just under an 8-point ERA in AAA. I think you'd call this a Venus de Milo team.
I like
no
that.
arms
I like
on
that.
the Florida Marlins.
Very good for a rubber match. All right, Stoney, let's see if we can head back to Chicago with a 2-1 record. Jeremy Gonzalez against Rafael Medina, starting lineup some more from Pro Player right after this.
Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN. Brought to you by Budweiser, Beechwood aged for a crisp, clean, classic taste. Ameritech, in a world of technology, people make the difference. Pepsi, Generation Next. ComEd, providing customers with reliable electric service for over 100 years. And by Southwest Airlines, offering low fares and frequent flights. Southwest Airlines, the official airline of the Chicago Cubs.
On an all-new Hercules, the legendary journey. When Hercules angers the gods,
Get ready for the worst day of your miserable life.
it's his friends who pay the price.
Sweet mother of Zeus.
Hercules, he's the one that can break us free. Now, things are getting down and dirty for the King of Thieves and on an all-new Hercules, the legendary journey. Sunday at noon on WGN.
What do you get from your agent for all that money you overpay on car insurance? Another year to wonder why. Geico, a 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
This man represents all the people who switched their car insurance to Geico last week. Sir, please raise your hand. 10,000 times.
Geico, a 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
The 24-ounce bottle from Pepsi. It's perfect for a lot of little thirsts. Or one great big thirst.
Uh-oh, Jarkin. Hey, Shaq, thanks a lot.
Sorry.
The 24-ounce six-pack, only from Pepsi.
A little help, please. Somebody?
Hey, what's that? What's what? Iceberg! Right ahead!
Need a new fishing boat? New fishing gear? Your favorite auto parts store has gone fishing. Napa's giving away die-wall fishing kits with your Zuri lures at every store. And 8 Ranger boats with Evinrude motors. Come on in for the Gone Fishing sweepstakes and sale. Save on Napa motor oil. Now only 59 cents after rebate.
Very sparse crowd on this beautiful afternoon for baseball here at Pro Player Stadium. Chip Carey along with Steve Stone. It's game 3 of the 3-game set between the Cubs and the Marlins. Let's take a look at the Cubs batting order brought to you by Pepsi. Lance Johnson leads it off, then Mickey Morandini and Sammy Sosa, who's off to a red-hot start. Mark Grace, the cleanup man today. Henry Rodriguez is in left. Then Jeff Blauser, Kevin Ory, who had a career game last night. Tyler Houston behind the plate gives Scott Service a day off, and Jeremy Gonzalez on the mound.
And the defense for Jim Leland's fighting fish. Left to right, it's Floyd Kotze and the very dangerous Gary Sheffield. In the infield, Booty Renteria, Consul, and Ryan Jackson again today. And a battery of Charles Johnson and Rafael Medina. There you look at the AAA record at Las Vegas, a very high ERA. This young man, after 5 years in the minor leagues, once highly thought of with the New York Yankees. Then he went to San Diego, and now he finds his way here to South Florida and into the starting rotation. He's got a very good fastball, spotty control.
And Lance Johnson. And we're underway with a pitch outside. Behind the plate, Ed Rapuano. Bruce Dreckman at first, Frank Pulley at second, Charlie Williams, the umpire, down at third. Lance hits it in the air to short. And Edgar Renteria will battle the high sky, and there's out number 1.
Well, normally the Cubs don't show a lot of patience, but if you show some patience against Medina, you should be in pretty good shape. He has somewhat of a slurve, somewhere between a curveball and a slider. He has a straight change that he's still trying to get a feel for. His fastball by far is his best pitch, and he has a tendency to get the ball up.
Mickey Morandini takes his turn and takes high. 1 ball, no strikes. Mickey off to a .333 start on the year. Had a beneficial scoring change after the game last night. Edgar Renteria was originally charged with an error on a ground ball that Mickey hit in the 9th inning. They changed it to a base hit after the game. And that's right through there. There's that good fastball. 2 balls and a strike just underway in South Florida. The Cubs head back home after the game today and welcome the Expos to town tomorrow. And now the count 3-1.
The Cubs do win today. They will go over the 500 mark for the first time since late 1996. Well, that's something to shoot for.
Strike 2.
83 degrees today, high humidity as you would expect in South Florida, but otherwise a beautiful day for baseball.
Now the payoff. And Morandini coaxes a 1-out walk.
Well, that's going to be one of the difference this year, Chip, over last year. And I know you didn't see a lot of the games last year, but the Cubs, especially early, wouldn't take near as many walks as you'd like, so they have to have 3 hits in an inning if they didn't hit the ball out of the ballpark. But with Morandini showing patience, you know, Ory's a very patient hitter. They're probably going to draw more walks this year than they ever have.
Already 13 on the year. And Morandini gets 1 here in the 1st inning, and Sammy Sosa is the hitter. This guy feasts in this ballpark. In 25 games, Sammy's hit 6 home runs and has knocked in 17. And he takes a quick strike.
Well, you kind of hope that Medina gets the ball down to Sammy. Now, maybe Johnson showed you a little something about their game plan. They went inside with the first fastball to Sosa. And with only .330 down the left field line, it's very inviting for a right-handed pull hitter.
That missed high. Sammy last night had a couple of hits, knocked in 2 runs, scored 2 runs. And Jim Leland, after winning the opener, experienced some of those growing pains that his young pitchers are going to face once you get past Livan Hernandez. And he had a home run cut and missed it.
The Medina fastball, and it's a good one. As long as he keeps it above the belt, he's going to be in decent shape against Sammy. If he gets it down, Sammy's going to be in very good shape against Rafael. And in the bullpen, it's blazing.
Whoa, look out. 2-2. A very bright day. Opening day here, it was very overcast, very muggy. There was a thought there might have been some rain. Very little chance of that today. a sun-splashed afternoon in South Florida. Morandini, a good lead from first. Now the 2-2, and he struck him out. Good fastball.
Well, they didn't play around with Sammy. You can tell that Charles Johnson said, I think your fastball is good enough to get by him. And that's exactly what he did. He just went Powder River the entire at-bat, and he threw the fastball by Sosa.
So it's up to Mark Grace if the Cubs are to continue a trend in the first 2 games of this series, and that's putting some runs on the board in the first inning. Grace, a .250 hitter on the year, and playing with that broken right toe, but playing through the pain here in the opening portions of the season. Mark last night doubled, walked, scored twice, and went 1 for 4 in the season opener. That's downstairs. 2 balls, no strikes to the Cubs first baseman.
Well, this heat down here is very good for the foot of Mark Grace. He will not have the same luxury starting opening day tomorrow. Standing room only available tomorrow, and then plenty of seats available for the entire homestand against Montreal and New York.
3 balls, no strikes.
Well, this is the wildness of youth that we talked about, and this is going to be one of the hallmarks of this staff. As Jim Riggleman saw his ball club win a ball game last night, and he expects to take 2 out of 3 in this series.
And Gracie coaxes a 4-pitch walk. Second of the inning and of the game, and now Henry Rodriguez the batter. Well, let's see if lightning strikes twice. In the opener with 2 outs, after Mark Grace drew a 2-out walk, Rodriguez hit a 3-run homer to right center.
Well, this should be a good matchup for Henry because Medina doesn't have a real good breaking ball. In fact, he hasn't thrown one yet. And Henry is an exceptional fastball hitter, especially if you allow him to get his arms out. Last night they stayed inside on him, but mostly left-hand pitchers got inside. If Henry can get his arms out, he can put a charge into it.
And there's a quick strike. Medina, 23 years old, making his major league debut this afternoon. And the hot-hitting Cubs, the opposition. Off speed, missed high and away.
I asked Henry if he had any bats left after breaking bats the first 3 times up last night. And you can tell why he does it. You look at the barrel of the bat, Chip, and it's very big, as home run hitters would like to have. And, of course, that makes the handle a little thinner.
1-1. Good cut and fouled it back.
Well, their game plan has been very simple against Henry. They stayed away when he hit the home run, and other than that, they've stayed right in on his hands. And the first inning has been very kind to the Cubs here in South Florida.
Mark leads from first. Mickey Morandini from second. Now the 1-2 pitch on the way. Got him swinging, and the inning's over. So, unlike the first 2 games of this series, the Marlins finally able to shut out the Cubs in the first. After a half inning, Cubs nothing, Marlins coming up.
Frank, I'm thinking about moving to another swamp.
Oh, really?
I'm just not comfortable living in a swamp where assassination attempts are taking place. Every loon with a vendetta, every snake with a sinus headache frightens me.
Hey, snap out of it, Louis. Everybody knows it was you.
Oh, Frank, I had no motive. I love Budweiser, and I love the frogs.
Oh, yeah, you're good buddies. I forgot.
Excuse me, if you would remember last summer, I invited them to that barbecue.
Yeah, well, Louis, you wanted to cook them at that barbecue.
But at least I invited them.
Oh.
You wouldn't have invited them at all.
A lot of times when something goes wrong with your car, you know it right away. But some parts, like shock absorbers, tend to wear out gradually over time. So gradually that many drivers fail to realize just how worn their shocks have become. So rather than wait till it's painfully obvious that you need new shocks, stop by your nearest AutoZone. Right now, when you buy 3 Gabriel Gas Rider shocks or struts, you get the 4th one free, only at AutoZone.
Now you can take yourself out to the ball game and catch plenty of Cubs action on your computer. Visit the Chicago Cubs website at www.cubs.com. It's the Cubs at your fingertips. The site features live broadcasts of Cubs baseball, daily statistics and game notes, player information, online access to tickets, and more. www.cubs.com is your link to the Cubs and is accessible 24 hours a day. Visit the Cubs website today at www.cubs.com. It's the place to be if you're not at Wrigley Field.
No score after a half inning. Let's take a look at Jim Leyland's starting lineup for his defending world champion Florida Marlins. Same lineup they've used first two games of the series with Floyd, Renteria, and Jackson, Gary Sheffield, Mark Kotsay, Charles Johnson behind the plate, Craig Counsell, Josh Booty, and Rafael Medina on the mound.
And the Pepsi defense for Jim Riggleman. It's Rodriguez, Johnson, and Sosa left to right. Ori, Blauser, Morandini, and Grace in the infield, and the battery of Houston and Gonzalez.
Who fires high to Cliff Floyd. 1 ball, no strikes.
It was a banner rookie year for Jeremy Gonzalez last year. He came up a little bit later, went 11-9, and threw the ball very well, especially early.
And a quick strike there, 1-1.
He has an outstanding move to first base, and it'll be interesting to watch the first Marlin base runner, especially if he is a base-stealing threat, because Jeremy will have a good shot at picking him off.
Floyd sends a drive deep down the right field line, but he's pulled it foul deep into the empty orange seats. And a long line strike makes it 1-2.
Well, Floyd was such a tremendous prospect coming up with Montreal. Then he shattered his wrist, had a couple of surgeries on it, and now finds his way here to South Florida. And he has a home in the outfield, being a converted first baseman. But he has tremendous speed for a big man.
Good fastball, but he missed with it high. 2-2. Floyd off to a very good start this season. .333 his average. It's 3 for 9. And now the count full, 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, the one thing you don't want to do is walk Floyd to lead off the ball game, because you got a real good handler in the bat in Renteria. They can use the hit and run. They can just flat out run with Floyd. And if you don't turn a double play, then you ensure that Sheffield comes to bat in the first inning, something you'd like to avoid.
Payoff. Hit hard but foul. And if you have to face Sheffield, you've said that a couple of times already, you feel a little more confident when there's nobody standing on the base paths.
Well, that's one of the reasons Mark Clark was able to win, because in 2 situations with men on, he just pitched around Sheffield and left it to Kotsay.
What a game he had.
He was brilliant last night. A career high with 11 strikeouts.
Now the 3-2 again. And he missed with it. Leadoff walk for Floyd.
Well, now if Cliff gets a little adventuresome on the base paths, we'll have a chance to see a pickoff as we watch a breaking ball just hang up a little high. And I'm sure that Tommy Sant, the first base coach with the Yosemite Sam mustache, has already informed Floyd about that good move.
There's Mr. Clark. A magnificent performance as he earns his first win of the season, first win of the year for the Cubs. And now you try to win the series here in Florida by winning the 3rd final and rubber game of the set. And a pitch high to Renteria. 1 ball, no strikes.
Well, this situation cries out for a hit and run for the simple reason that Renteria can hit the ball to right center very well, and he's adept at waiting back and taking the ball behind the base runner.
And not a very big lead by Floyd. Look out, folks, 2-0.
Well, if you miss another time or two, and now Mark Grace is coming to talk with him, that's what you want to do. And here comes Phil Regan. Again, what you want to do, you want to settle down the youngster and make sure this game doesn't get away from him early. Early in a ball game, a young pitcher, and Jeremy certainly falls into that category, has a tendency, Chip, to have so much adrenaline that he overthrows. And when you do that, all of the fastballs stay up high, and you're trying to throw it through Tyler Houston instead of to the glove.
So Phil Regan's meeting a brief one. Tyler Houston back behind the plate.
You see, Houston wants it outside, and this one buzzes Renteria up and in and well out of the zone.
We'll see if the meeting works here with the 2-0 count. It's high, 3-0. Jackson to the dish. Sheffield 2 on deck.
Ryan Jackson is a converted outfielder. He knows that there is no room in the outfield at this point for the Marlins, so they moved him to first base. And he's getting a chance to show what he can do. He had a good opening day, as you can look at that graphic, and then took a seat yesterday in favor of Jim Eisenreich.
How about a 4-6-3 double play? That'd be nice. Off the bat of Jackson, and he takes a quick strike. Bell tie, 0-1.
Well, let's see if Blauser sneaks in back of Floyd at second base, because Gonzalez has as good a move to second as he does to first.
Breaking ball, hammered into left center field, base hit. Floyd's going to round third and score. Lance kicks it to Henry. He'll fire it into second. A solid single to left by Jackson, who has 3 RBIs in 2 games, and the Marlins lead it by 1.
It's an off-speed pitch out away from Jackson. He just rifles it by Blauser, and then Lance comes across and just flips it over to Henry Rodriguez, who gets it in. And the Marlins off to the races here. So as easy as it looked last night for Mark Clark, that's how difficult it looks today for Gonzalez because of the 2 walks.
Now they're at the corners for Sheffield with nobody out. And it's inside, 1 ball, no strikes. Sheffield with 3 hits, 4 walks already on the year. And a homer, 3 RBIs. He's also been hit by a pitch. That's how the year started for him last season for the Marlins, too. Nowhere near, 2-0.
When you take a look at that big padded area over the left elbow of Gary Sheffield, and when you wear that much padding over your left elbow, that allows you to hang over the plate. You're not worried about anything inside or getting hit in a very vulnerable spot. So not only do you have the glove, but you have the wrist padding and the elbow padding. A la Bagwell and Biggio, the same thing. They hang over the plate, and they're not worried about anything inside.
Big cut, and he fouled it off. And as we've seen a couple of times already in the series, if you do try to bust this guy inside, his hands are so quick he can still turn on that inside fastball.
Well, if you go inside, you want to go inside off the plate. And this is a good breaking ball. He stays away from Sheffield. Just barely gets a piece of it. And you notice, Chip, the leads are very short at first base, so they've got the scouting report on Gonzalez.
First and third, nobody out. Swung on and belts it. Oh, baby, how far is that one going to go?
Well, just as Mark Clark followed the game plan yesterday, never allowing Gary Sheffield to hurt him, when you fall behind him, and that's what Gonzalez did, this guy just will kill you. He is the one man in the lineup you have to pick out before the game starts and say, regardless of what you do, you can't let him beat you. That's his 2nd home run. He's driven in 6. The Cubs haven't given him a lot to swing at, but when he has, he's just scalded the ball.
A 4-0 lead here in the first, and still nobody out. Kotze has an extra base hit. Sammy hustles to the corner. Kotze looks to second, pulls up there, a stand-up double.
Well, I'm looking at the clouds. Is it too early to go into a rain dance?
I'm ready at this point. Maybe we can do the old total do-over. Goodness gracious, Gary Sheffield has electrified the small crowd. And now a rocket into right from Mark Kotze.
Kotze has been very impressive this entire series. He turns on this one, driving it into the corner. And the bullpen up and going, and it's Amari Telemaco.
So Telemaco up early in this ball game. Charles Johnson catching in the day game after the night game takes a quick strike. There's Kotze, a good-looking young player. Johnson 1 for 9, but that hit a big one in game 1. This time he pops it up near the Marlin dugout. And it's out of play. And he's in a 2-strike hole. 2 2 walks to Floyd and Renteria. An RBI single from Ryan Jackson to left center. Then Gary Sheffield on a 2-1 pitch crushed it over the Teal monster. And the Cubs trail 4-0.
I would say whatever the scouting report on Sheffield, it should change.
The 0-2. Downstairs, it pops away from Houston. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, looking at last night's game, the first time up, Sheffield almost hit the ball out in center field, and then he drew a couple of walks from Mark Clark, both times with runners on, which was the wise thing to do, and then got the base hit the 3rd time up. But Clark did not allow Sheffield to hurt him.
And now Houston and Jeremy want to talk it over. Right now, the young man looks like he's a little shell-shocked. This is not the way, sure, he wanted to start the '98 season, considering how successful he was last year. But Gary Sheffield can make waste of a lot of plans. A 390-plus foot home run.
Well, they measured at 391. It seemed to go a lot farther than that, however, and there wasn't any doubt about it.
That just missed outside to Johnson. 2-2.
I think that Jeremy Gonzalez wanted that one. He thought he had the corner, but Ed Rapuano had other ideas.
In the dirt, 3-2. And they haven't picked up the souvenir yet.
Be there till football season. There's not going to be a lot of fans out there during baseball season.
The payoff pitch now. Off the end of his bat and foul. That opened up that section. If you have to pitch to Sheffield, that's the surest way to get a souvenir, because that's where it's going to end up. And he's hit a bullet there. He hit one into the upper deck over the Bob Greasy sign. And another walk.
I think Jeremy's getting a little frustrated. He thinks he's shaving off the corners, and it's been a small plate so far, but when you're not around the plate, you don't get these calls. That's a pretty good pitch, as was 2 pitches before. But you know, the first couple hitters, when he was up and away, down and away, umpire's human being too, and if you don't have real good control, you just don't get the benefit of the doubt.
And still nobody out for the 7th man in the lineup. Craig Counsell has been a pest. A couple of triples. And a 440 mark to start the year. This guy's a good-looking young second baseman.
Remember that 4.63 you were talking about? The Cubs could use it right here.
I'm ready. I'm ready anytime. Johnson at first, Kotze at second. And again, he falls behind. He hasn't been ahead of a hitter yet in the game. His 27th pitch of the inning sails outside, 3-0.
And Counsell is the type of hitter who very rarely swings at anything off the plate. So you're going to have to get it close for him to be swinging.
Nowhere near. 4 walks in the inning. And now the bases are loaded.
And that's going to be it for Jeremy Gonzalez, as he has to have the shortest outing of his career because he didn't retire anybody.
So 4 walks, a single, a double, a home run. Jeremy Gonzalez does not get out of the first inning, does not register an out. And Amari Telemaco will come on and try to save the day with Gary Sheffield and the Marlins ahead by 4 already.
An all-new Hercules, the legendary journey. When Hercules angers the gods,
Get ready for the worst day of your miserable life.
it's his friends who pay the price.
Sweet mother of Zeus.
Hercules, he's the one that can break us free. Now, things are getting down and dirty for the King of Thieves and on an all-new Hercules, the legendary journey.
Sunday at noon on WGN.
sister have not only changed nights, they've, well, just changed. See what we mean? How did y'all do that? Now it's easier to tell them apart, but it's still hard to keep them apart.
I don't know why I even tried.
Sister, now on Sundays. Then, Jamie Foxx has a new singing partner, but her preacher daddy doesn't approve.
Come here. Thou shalt not kill.
Mary J. Blige guest stars. Jamie Foxx after Sister. Sunday night at 7 on WGN.
Well, a tale of two ball players there. Jeremy Gonzalez tattooed in the first inning, very wild with 4 walks. Gary Sheffield got ahead in the count. You had to face him with 2 runners aboard, and he makes the Cubs pay with a long 3-run homer. And yes, it feels like the dog days already, as the Marlins try to win the season series here in Game 3. And Amari Telemaco comes in, Steve, in a rather unenviable position. There's no margin for error for him with the bases loaded.
Well, Telemaco came in the first game and threw the ball very well in relief of Terry Mulholland and Kevin Tapani. And there you look at last season, one that Amari would like to forget. Yes, he'd like to be a starting pitcher, but he realizes his place is out of the bullpen. And he picked up 2 innings in the opener, gave up 2 hits and no runs.
And Booty, a man who's really struggled to open the season. He's 0 for 7 and has struck out 5 times, and has also made a couple of errors over at third base.
Well, he hasn't had the ball out of the infield in 2 games, but he did throw his bat very close to the tarp the last time he struck out. But this young man is very strong, a lot of potential, and the Marlins are hoping he comes around.
That ball's popped up, but it'll reach the seats. It's 1-1. Well, there's Billy the Marlin. I'm glad to see they finally found his head. It only took him about a year. I think one of the mascots jumped out of an airplane, obviously with a parachute, and the head flew off. And they had a county-wide search to come up with the billfish head.
Fortunately, he had the auxiliary head, so to speak, and that's what he used last year.
There's the lovable Marlins mascot.
It's a little like Arnie Harris.
2 balls and a strike. Way outside, 3-1. It's a little early for me to be saying that.
In fact, feel free. He looks a lot like Arnie when I ask him to pay the check. He has that look on his face.
3 balls and a strike. Josh Booty in the driver's seat here. A long first inning. Line drive, base hit. 1-run scores. Johnson will stop at third.
First major league hit, and that ball will leave the ball game as Josh Booty, taking advantage of Telemaco falling behind, knowing a fastball had to be forthcoming. He takes it right back up the middle, drives in his 2nd major league run on his 1st major league hit. And the woes continue. A fastball, outer portion of the plate, but when you know it's coming, when the pitcher falls behind and no place to put you, any hitter's a dangerous hitter.
And that includes the pitcher, Rafael Medina, who stands in now. Making his major league debut, his mates have gotten him 5 runs to work with here. And he had a pretty good cut. Two walks to start the game. Ryan Jackson singled. Sheffield hits a 3-run homer. Mark Kotze doubles. Then 2 walks from Johnson and Counsell. That chased Gonzalez. And then Josh Booty with a base hit. And now Medina swings and misses. And for the first time, it's an 0-2 count. Bases full of Marlins. Got it. Medina strikes out, and there's the first out of the inning.
One thing, Chip, and I've been around this game for some 30 years, I've always felt it was a bad omen when the leadoff hitter hits twice in the first inning.
That's usually not a good sign. And Floyd will stand in. He walked and scored, of course, back in the first. We're still in the first.
Just seems like it's back in the first.
Man, oh man. 5 runs on 4 hits. And that misses inside. 1 ball, no strikes. We've said a couple of times in this series, this Marlin team certainly decimated because of trades. And the payroll slashing, but still, I think a lot of people may tend to overlook. They do have some pretty good offensive players, Gary Sheffield certainly being one of them. This guy has a chance to have a good year offensively if he can stay healthy.
And they'll get Bobby Bonilla back. And so it's not going to be the lineup necessarily where they suffer. But that pitching staff will give them some problems. 12 pitchers, 8 of them rookies. That makes it tough.
1 ball, 1 strike from Amari. That's bounced foul past first.
That went right off the foot of Cliff Floyd, and he's walking rather gingerly.
That's what happened to Mark Grace, and he fractured a toe. There's that young Marlin bullpen. Ouch.
Mark Grace can certainly empathize with Cliff Floyd.
One man out, but 5 Marlins have scored. Florida has batted around here in the first. Busts him inside, but too high and tight, 2-2. Later on today, the Pirates battle Montreal. The Dodgers in St. Louis. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 3-2.
The only man that I've ever seen that's used the hit and run with the bases loaded was Don Zimmer back in 1989. He did it twice with Mark Grace, and both times it worked successfully. You won't see it today from Jim Leland, though.
Here comes the payoff. Ball 4. 5 walks in the inning, and the Marlins get their 6th run. Johnson scores. Counsell to third. Booty to second, and the merry-go-round continues. Tells you how important starting pitching is in this game. Kevin Tapani struggled in game 1, got hammered in the first. Mark Clark was brilliant yesterday. Today, Jeremy Gonzalez couldn't record an out before being lifted. And the Cubs pitchers have fallen behind virtually every hitter in this inning, which continues with Edgar Renteria. That pitch popped up. Please stay in play. But no chance. Tyler Houston slides and couldn't get there.
Tough play going over into the opposition dugout because you know you're getting no help, and Tyler Houston slid on that rubberized surface and fortunately came away unscathed. That was a very difficult play. The ball wasn't up there all that long, and Renteria gets another life. And this being getaway day, Cubs are just hoping this one ends before opening day tomorrow in Chicago.
Here comes the 1-1 now. Line fouled on the right field line. It's 1-2. Small crowd here in Miami liking what they've seen so far. Double play ball to third. Out at second. Relay to first, and the inning mercifully comes to an end. But not before 6 Marlins score on 4 hits. They got 5 walks. The big hit, of course, Gary Sheffield's long 3-run homer. After a very long first inning, Marlins 6, Cubs nothing.
With all this action, you can't possibly catch all the hits, jams, shots, and slams. But we catch it all. Instant replay, Sunday at 9:40 on WGN.
Another breakthrough from the 1-hour labs of LensCrafters. New Invisible's anti-reflective lenses from LensCrafters reduce glare, so you can see better while driving at night. New Invisibles, only at LensCrafters. Made in about an hour.
Hey, what's that? What's what?
Need a new fishing boat, new fishing gear, your favorite auto parts store's gone fishing. Napa's giving away die-wall fishing kits with your Zuri lures at every store and 8 Ranger boats with Evinrude motors. Come on in for the Gone Fishing sweepstakes and sale. Save on Napa motor oil, now only 59 cents after rebate.
Budner, get these tax documents to our clients fast, but watch our costs.
FedEx can deliver it in 2 days for up to $11. UPS can deliver it in 2 days for up to $11.
Priority Mail can deliver it in 2 to 3 days for $3.
Smart move, Budner.
So, 11, 11, 3, what's your priority? Priority Mail from the U.S. Postal Service.
Long way to go in this one, but the Marlins, as they did in Game 1, put 6 on the board in the first inning. In Game 3 here from Pro Players Stadium, for the Cubs, Blauser, Ori, and Houston will try to get something going against Rafael Medina, who's shown a pretty good fastball to start this game, but he's been wild too. He's walked 2 and has struck out 2, but has gotten ahead of the hitters in his first inning. Deceptive pitch there, and Blauser missed it.
Well, that's that slurve we were talking about. He didn't use it in the first inning, just trying to get his control, but this was a pretty good one to Blauser.
And Jeff rifles the 0-2 pitch into center field, so a mistake by Medina. And this Cub team's come charging back a couple of times already in this series. Remember, down 6-3 after 1. They cut it to 6-5 in Game 1 before Charles Johnson took him out. And then after losing Game 1, scored 2 quick runs in Game 2 to give Mark Clark a cushion. And Blauser leads off the second inning. Maybe that'll start a Cubs rally to get some of these runs back.
Rafael has a brother, Ricardo, who plays in the Cubs organization.
Well, here's Kevin Ori. What a hitting night he had last night. Fell 1 triple shy of his first major league cycle. I asked him before the game, you ever hit for the cycle? Not up here. I did it in Little League. Well, heck, I did it in Little League, Kevin. But what a night he had. Home run, 4 RBIs. That's in the dirt. And the count evens up, 1 ball, 1 strike. Charles Johnson behind the plate again. He's a throwback kind of catcher. Plays the day game after the night game. Great arm, good defensive player. 3-time Gold Glove Award winner. Short lead from Blauser. He's not going anywhere, down 6 runs, and Ori takes inside.
One of the reasons why Kevin Ori will be a very good hitter is that he very rarely swings at a bad pitch. For a young man, he's got an exceptional conception of the strike zone. He came up with it. I think it's just natural for him. And you just won't see him expanding that zone too often. Consequently, he's ahead of the pitcher quite a bit.
Swung on, hammered toward left. Floyd misjudged it. It's over his head and off the wall. Blauser around second. He's on his way to third. He'll stop there as Ori rifles a shot to left center field for a stand-up double.
Kevin Ori, probably one of the few Cubs that does not want to leave South Florida because he's hitting everybody in sight here. Watch it again. Once again, he's ahead of Medina, 2-1. It's a fastball, inner course of the plate, and Kevin Ori turns on it. It's not well played by Floyd, but this ball is a rocket over his head, and runners at second and third. Another extra base hit for Kevin Ori.
Yeah, we'll have to drag him kicking and screaming to the bus. Tyler Houston, the batter, runners second and third, nobody out. And again, Medina, you made the point. Young guy making his major league debut. He's got a 6-run lead. This thing's not over by a long stretch.
No, the Cubs aren't going to score against Medina. Here's a man who completed just 3 of 79 minor league starts, so he doesn't go too deep into ball games.
The 1-0. Tyler took a shot at left and fouled it away. Houston hit .260 last year with the Cubs.
Very versatile player for the Cubs. You can play him at third, you can play him at first, and of course he catches, and that's the kind of day it is. A sun-splashed South Florida afternoon.
Break out the sunscreen, folks. You will need it. A ball and a strike. Nobody out here in the Cubs' second. Good pitch. Kevin Ory at second, Jeff Blauser at third. Cubbies down 6 runs early. May have swung at a bad ball there, but he protects the plate and stays alive. Well, you feel like if you get a couple of runs here, you get your confidence right back. The momentum maybe swings back in favor of the Cubs.
And once again, it'll all be up to Mari Telemaco to hold the Marlins right there.
The 1-2. Bouncing ball up the middle. Renteria will handle. A run will score. And Houston grounds out, picks up the RBI, his first of the year as Blauser comes home. Kevin Ory scampers over to third. It's now a 6-1 game. And now Mari Telemaco will stay in the game, of course, and hit in the number 9 spot. And he takes low, 1 ball, no strikes. Maury real excited. He's going to be a papa soon. I told him sleep's overrated.
And with a 4.5-month-old, he would be an authority on that.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, Murray takes a long look down at Tom Gamboa, the third base coach, wanting to see if anything is on. There's the set of signs. Flashed from Jim Riggleman, Tom Gamboa, and then to Mari Telemaco.
That sweeps way outside. Last major league hit for Amari, May 10th of '97 in San Francisco. Foul back our way. Pretty good cut from the pitcher. And it's 2-2. Why can't pitchers hit?
Some of them can and do, and most of them belong to the Atlanta Braves. They've got a wonderful hitting pitching staff, but a lot of pitchers don't concentrate on it. You can be a great hitter, but if you can't pitch, you're not here.
2-2. Pulled him there. Third strikeout. And Telemaco goes down. Now there are 2 outs. Ory stays at third, and Lance Johnson, the Cubs leadoff man, will stand in with 2 down. Cubs have done a great job of hitting with 2 outs so far on the year. A 2-out hit here would make it a 6-2 game. Lance popped out to short his first time up. And takes low.
Well, that'll be the challenge all year long for Charles Johnson, because he's got a pitching staff that has some problems getting the ball over the plate consistently, and so he's going to be diving left and right and trying to block everything in the dirt. It's tough to get the ball by this guy.
Tried to stop it, but couldn't.
That was the best straight change that Medina has thrown, and it was a dandy. He had Lance swinging at the motion. You see how quickly Lance was out there, and when he realized it was a changeup, tried to check his swing to no avail.
Kevin Ory, the potential second run, standing at third. The 1-1. He tries to butt his way on, fouled it back. And now a count of 1-2. Five Marlin walks in the first inning.
Billy, turn this way.
4 of them scored. Make that 3 of them scored. And Gary Sheffield a 3-run homer. A 1-2. Did he go? Yes, he did. And Johnson is retired. Mr. Medina has been very tough so far. He struck out 4, he's walked 2, but the Cubs scratch out a second inning run. After 1.5, Marlins lead it 6-1.
Daddy, come on and Mom sing me a song.
Can I? A single career gal for step kids who need me. A hot burning hunk.
Now, Kelly, don't tease me.
Girl, it's kissy. Don't think it's boring. These are just some of the things we adore. We'll be carefree. She needs therapy.
Hey, I gotta pee.
Since we live together, we're going to be
A dysfunctional family.
Premiering Monday, April 20th at 8 on WGN.
Frank, I'm thinking about moving to another swamp.
Oh, really?
I'm just not comfortable living in a swamp where assassination attempts are taking place. Every loon with a vendetta, every snake with a sinus headache frightens me.
Hey, snap out of it, Louis. Everybody knows it was you.
Oh, Frank, I had no motive. I love Budweiser, and I love the frogs.
Oh, yeah, you're good buddies. I forgot.
Excuse me, if you would remember last summer, I invited them to that barbecue.
Yeah, well, Louis, you wanted to cook them at that barbecue.
But at least I invited them.
Oh.
You wouldn't have invited them at all.
With AT&T One Rate, it costs $2.40 to make a 16-minute call from Miami to Chicago. With 10321, it's $4.47. With One Rate, it costs $1.20 to make an 8-minute call from Boston to Dallas. With 10321, it's $2.23. Surprised? Don't be. Most calls from home cost less with One Rate, without dialing any extra digits. Now, what state would you rather be in? If you don't have One Rate, get it today.
Beautiful afternoon for baseball. Mid-80-degree temperatures, high humidity here at Pro Players Stadium. It's a 6-1 ball game as we head to the home half of the second inning, and Ryan Jackson, the batter. This kid's had quite a major league debut. An RBI single, his first at bat in tonight's game. And Jackson in the opener ripped an RBI single in his first major league at bat. That was in game 1. Telemaco quickly ahead 0-2.
Well, Jackson, somewhat of a surprise making this ball club, but looking at his numbers from last year, 26 home runs, 98 driven in, and a .312 batting average at Portland. So he showed last year he could hit.
Chopper toward first. Bad hop with Mark Grace. Flips to the pitcher. Good play at both ends. And the leadoff man retired for the Marlins. Well, here's the situation you like. If you have to face Gary Sheffield, very different than the one we saw in the first inning.
That's opening night as Gary Sheffield in the first inning against Kevin Tapani hits a 3-run bomb, and he follows it up today. Likewise, a 3-run bomb.
That ball's flat, the one he hit. Second home run, 6 RBIs on the year already for Gary Sheffield. 1-0 the count.
Problem with Sheffield, if you're a pitcher, is that this guy doesn't swing at any bad pitches. He's always ahead of you, and then when you come in with anything, he crushes it.
Like that. Hammer toward left. But Henry's got to play. Ballpark just big enough. He's one of those guys that people are going to wait to see hit that last time before they head to the parking lot.
Well, he just misses this one. Telemaco goes with the fastball. And Sheffield doesn't get it on the sweet part of the bat. He knows that it's not gone. And Henry put it away.
So 2 up, 2 down for Mark Kotsay. He doubled and scored. 1-0. 6-1 the score. We're in the home half of the second inning. It's 2-0. Big day tomorrow. It's opening day in Wrigley. We'll have to bundle up, we understand. It should be chilly at friendly confines. But hopefully a warm reception for the Cubs. It'd be great if they could come back from a 6-run deficit in today's game.
The Cubs will be facing yet another pitcher making his major league debut, Javier Vasquez against Steve Traxel. And Vasquez is supposed to have just outstanding stuff.
2 balls, 2 strikes to the Marlins center fielder. And it's fouled away.
I was talking with a few of the scouts before the game today, and they said that Vasquez was one of the most impressive pitchers in the Grapefruit League this spring. And that's high praise. There's a few teams down there, and a lot of guys throw the ball well.
Full count now. Marlins with 14 rookies on their team. 7 more than Tampa Bay. Kevin Ory, good play to his left. Has to fire quickly and does, and the Cubs retire the Marlins in order here in the second. We go to the third. Morandini, Sosa, and Grace will try to chip away at a 6-1 Marlin lead.
This is my life. I have 5 kids.
Maggie, Katie, Molly, Aaron, and Ryan.
I want to be a lawyer, but there aren't any law schools where I live. So twice a week, after I get the kids off to school, I go to law school in another state. Southwest has lots of flights, so I get back in time to tuck my kids into bed.
A for ingenuity.
My kids take the bus to school. I take the plane.
You are now free to move about the country.
A participating advertiser for Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN is the Discover Card. Discover Card, the card that pays you back with a cashback bonus award.
If recent rains have you concerned, if you think your old roof may need replacing, call this 800 number and schedule a free in-home estimate from America's #1 roofing contractor, Sears. Now through Sunday, you can take advantage of 25% off when we install selected 25-year shingles. We'll remove your old shingles, do all the prep work, and leave you with more than a roof, a beautiful new roofing system. Call for your free estimate right now. We can even arrange for monthly payments as low as $96. If you don't know roofs, then get peace of mind by knowing your roofer. Sears. Satisfaction guaranteed or your money back. Hurry, this offer ends Sunday. 25% off selected shingles and payments as low as $96 a month. For installed roofing, gutters, doors, and fencing, call this 800 number right now. Improving your life by improving your home.
Things are getting down and dirty on an all-new Hercules.
Sunday at noon on WGN.
Mickey Morandini takes the ball as he leads off the Cubs' third. The 2, 3, 4 spots due up in the order. Bouncing ball to first. Good play by Ryan Jackson. He'll flip to the pitcher. 1 out here in inning number 3. Cubs fans, make sure you get your magnet schedule this opening day weekend. When the Expos come to town, they'll be given away to the first 20,000 adults on April 3rd, 4th, and 5th. For Cubs tickets, stop by the Wrigley Field box office, Ticketmaster, or call 312-831-CUBS. Again, as Steve has said a couple of times, standing room only tomorrow. Good seats available for the rest of that Montreal series. Here's Sammy Sosa. A strikeout victim his first time up. And he takes low and away.
Jeff Pentland, the hitting instructor, has been working with Sammy on trying to drive the ball to right field when the pitchers stay away. He said if you do that, then eventually they're going to get tired of it and they're going to come in, and that's when you have them where you want them. And there's a very good hitting instructor. Jeff Pentland used to be the Marlin hitting instructor, but when Jim Leland took over, of course, Milt May was his hitting coach with Pittsburgh, and then Pentland went to the Mets, where the Cubs got him, and he's turned out to be a good one.
Oh, he chased the bat ball there. That was up in his eyes.
Unfortunately, nobody's going to catch up to a 93-mile-an-hour fastball upstairs, and that one was well out of the zone.
4 strikeouts already for Mr. Medina. He's got Sosa set up for number 5, perhaps. 1 and 2, the count to Sammy. It's 2 and 2. Dodgers and Cardinals are underway in St. Louis. Chan-Ho Park is pitching for Los Angeles in that game. If I'm not mistaken, they're broadcasting that game live back to Korea today. The 2-2. Bouncing ball toward third. Booty backs up. Has to fire quickly and does just gets Sammy at first.
Well, Booty had a tough night last night, but he is a very good glove man. And here he gives a step, but he's got a strong arm, as you would expect from an All-American quarterback. And he fires it across and gets it.
Before Mark Grace bats, let's pause for station identification.
This is America's #1 sports station, WGN, Chicago.
Chip Carey, Steve Stone from Miami. 5 straight Cubs have been retired as Grace bats with 2 outs in the 3rd.
Medina's starting to get that off-speed breaking ball over the plate. You know, he's from Panama, is Rafael Medina. Trying to have a right hook like Roberto Duran and a bank account like Manuel Noriega.
Wouldn't be bad on either account if he could come away with that. But does he own the canal?
The way the salaries are going, you never know. You win 12 games, they back up the truck.
2-2. Mark Grace walked his first time up. And now Medina are ready to go. Bounce towards second. Easy play for Counsell. And the side retired. 3 up, 3 down. 6 straight have gone by the boards through 2.5 innings. We go to the bottom half in Miami. Marlins with a 5-run lead.
Budner, get these tax documents to our clients fast, but watch our costs.
FedEx can deliver it in 2 days for up to $11. UPS can deliver it in 2 days for up to $11.
Priority Mail can deliver it in 2 to 3 days for $3.
Smart move, Budner.
So, 11, 11, 3, what's your priority? Priority mail from the U.S. Postal Service.
Well, there was one year where I almost lost the entire backyard to crabgrass, and I vowed that would never happen again. The following year, I did use Turf Builder plus Halts. It not only got rid of the crabgrass, but it also greened up the lawn and thickened it. I used the cheaper brands, but I didn't have the color that I wanted, and I did have the weeds. Look how thick it is. Look at the color of it. There are no weeds. I take the credit instead of Scott's. I call it Louis Lawn. I'm very proud of the results that I get from Scott's, and there will be no crabgrass.
It's been a tradition since 1876. Think about that. That's more than 120 years ago that this company started making Budweiser under Adolphus Busch. The family has always put in the forefront, protect the excellence of the product Budweiser. And I think he would be very happy that the generations of his family have practiced what he taught us.
6-1 as we head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. And Dutchie, I hope you're working on the vocal cords tomorrow. Looking forward to hearing you sing the 7th inning stretch. That'll be a very, very touching moment for our family and for our extended family, the great fans of the Cubs tomorrow at Wrigley Field. Charles Johnson swings at the first pitch. Boy, Kevin Ory's got a good glove at 3rd, doesn't he? 1 pitch, 1 out.
Well, he came in aggressively, and he smothered the hop. And that's called playing the ball instead of letting the ball play you. And Ory does it real well. You see him reach down, pick out the hop that he wants, and then fire it across. Johnson without blazing speed, and easy out at first.
Boy, to think about him having a rookie season where he commits only 9 errors at 3rd base. Pretty impressive.
It was a great year defensively, and you bear in mind that he's not playing on the artificial surface, and it looks even better.
Frank Counsell takes it low. 1 ball, no strikes.
Telemaco's done a nice job in relief of Jeremy Gonzalez, who had a disastrous start today. Cubs trying to dig out of that hole.
Well, that's his job. He's got to keep them where they are and hope the bats catch up to Medina. Again, coming out of spring, that was the question. What would the Cubs' middle relief look like? How would it shape up so far in the first 3 games? So far, so very good. Good breaking ball there has Counsell behind 1 and 2. Foul away. At It's off to the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. They've picked up their first Major League victory.
Arizona Diamondbacks still looking for theirs, and they've been terrorized by Dante Bichette, who's 8 for 10 in the 2 games, and Vinny Castillas hit 3 home runs.
And tonight, they have Pedro Estacio to worry about. Brian Anderson on the mound for the Diamondbacks.
That was the battery last night, or the night before, and Scott Service playing 2 straight games, getting the day off, and Kevin Tapani going to regroup after that first start. He'll come back a lot better next time.
Council, a good fight here. Elsewhere, the Giants battle Houston tonight. Both teams 1-1. The Mets and Phillies resume hostilities. They had a 14-inning opener. Had an off day yesterday. Play tonight in New York. Milwaukee is in Atlanta. Tom Glavine for the Braves against Scott Carl.
Francisco Cordova was awfully tough last night. #1 pitcher of the Pittsburgh Pirates. And a trio of other pitchers shut down Montreal 4-zip. Pittsburgh Pirates have some very good young arms. That's the strength of that ball club.
Again, the 1-2 to the Marlins second baseman. Broken bat blooper, and Jeff Blauser puts it away. So Telemaco's retired 6 in a row. And Council saw it off on that pitch. And with 2 down, nobody aboard, Josh Booty, the third baseman of the Marlins, will be the batter. You'd think, Steve, this guy who got his first RBI and the hit his last time up, you'd think he'd be a little more relaxed up there, knowing that Bobby Bonilla is coming back and he's going to be the everyday third baseman down at AAA.
Well, he's under no illusions that he's going to win the job. He realizes he's just keeping the spot warm until Bonilla comes back. That will be after the road trip. And all Booty needs is some AAA at-bats under his belt. Jim Leyland thinks very highly of this young man. I would give him the 3-0 green light, even though he's a rookie. Got the pitcher up next. You got nothing to lose if Telemaco gets careless with a fastball.
3-1. Booty with RBI today, has 2 of them on the year. A base hit in that long first inning in which the Marlins sent 11 men to the plate. And Amari's battle back to run it full now, 3-2.
Well, if Amari throws any kind of breaking ball, he's going to fan Booty. Again, you don't have much to lose with pitcher coming up next. This guy can hit a fastball as far as Gary Sheffield, but the breaking ball mystifies him.
He walked him high. 6th walk surrendered by the Cubs pitching today.
Well, this list of Kurt Abbott, Moisés Alou, Alex Arias, Kevin Brown, Jeff Conine, Dennis Cook, Darren Dalton, Kurt Miller, Bob Natal, Rob Nen, Tony Saunders, John Wayner, Devon White, and Ed Bosberg, all gone from last year's team. 16 new Marlins, 14 rookies.
And 2 more may be going, and John Cangelosi and Jim Eisenreich. They'd like to move them.
Well, the thing with Eisenreich is he's making $1.4 million, and that makes it pretty difficult at his age to move him this early in the season. So they're thinking about a contender a little later on who might want a man who can swing the bat very well, and Eisenreich has always been able to do that.
Medina fouls it down the third base line.
Interesting story with Medina. He was so highly thought of with the New York Yankees that when Hideki Irabu, who was originally property of San Diego Padres, insisted on playing in New York, Ruben Rivera and Rafael Medina were the 2 guys that San Diego insisted upon as compensation for letting Irabu sign with the Yankees.
He hits that ball down the right field line. That's trouble if it's fair. He missed extra bases by a couple of feet.
And then when Kevin Brown became available, because Medina has such a good arm, he was one of the guys that Dave Dombrowski insisted on from San Diego, and he came over here in that deal and finds himself, amazingly enough, in the middle of the starting rotation for the Marlins, and Kevin Brown, of course, becomes #1 in San Diego.
And #1 on a pretty good pitching staff. 1-2. And the inning is over. Hats off to Amari Telemaco, folks. He is doing his job. He shut him down through 3 innings. But the damage done in the first. On to the 4th we go. It is still 6-1 Marlins.
went to my first rodeo when I was 60. Fell in love with it. So, Bill and I fly to rodeos on Southwest Airlines. With fares this low, we are getting to be regulars. Bill wishes I would stay home and play bingo.
B11.
I tell him as long as Southwest is flying, I'm riding.
You are now free to move about the country.
Hey, what's that? What's what?
Iceberg! Right
Need a new fishing boat, new fishing gear? Your favorite auto parts store's gone fishing. Napa's giving away die-wall fishing kits with your Zuri lures at every store and 8 Ranger boats with Evinrude motors. Come on in for the Gone Fishing sweepstakes and sale. Now get Max Car Care products, your choice for only $1.69.
It's amazing what some people will do to save a little money.
What a piece of work.
Yet with one call to Geico, you could save 15% or more on car insurance. And considering the alternatives, making a phone call is pretty simple.
Amateur.
Geico Direct. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
This is WGN, celebrating 50 years as Chicago's very own.
6-1 our score after 3. It's O. Henry time. Henry Rodriguez is set to lead it off. He struck out swinging to end the first. Nothing like the old picnic area here at Pro Players Stadium. Rafael Medina goes to work and delivers low and away.
Come on, move it, move it.
You couldn't have picked a better way for a new Cub to debut than the way Henry Rodriguez did in the opener of this series. He and Sammy Sosa expected to provide so much sock in that part of the order. Well, his first at bat for the Cubs was a 3-run homer, and he creams that ball into right center field, but he hit it to the deepest part of the yard. He was right on it, but got under it.
Henry knew he just got under this one. And that's a long way to hit it in this park. Just as easy as it is for the right-hand hitters, that's how tough it is for the left-hand hitters to leave the ballpark.
So 7 in a row retired now for Jeff Blauser, who takes high and tight. Jeff a single and scored on a Tyler Houston ground out. That's the only Cub run on the day. And down the right field line. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gotta like the intangibles this guy brings to your team. He's been around winners. He's been around an Atlanta organization that really struggled in the late 80s until the 1991 season. Blauser was a part of it when they got to the World Series all those years and finally won it a couple of years ago.
And certainly the last few years, he's used to going out there with the idea of winning every day.
2-2. Off his fists and out of play. Blauser, a career year last year, finally was healthy.
Always talking about hitting and what the pitcher is trying to do to you.
Jeff lays off the breaking ball.
And that's Henry talking with Sandy Martinez, both left-hand hitters. Tamari Telemaco has done a fine job in his 3 innings of work.
3 balls, 2 strikes with the red-hot Kevin Ory waiting next. Jeff pops it foul out of play. Jeff, a National League All-Star last year. Led everyday big league shortstops in batting average. Led National League shortstops in homers and RBIs. A great year for the Atlanta team. Hit .308, second time he'd been over 300 in his big league career. And 17 home runs, 70 batted in. And he draws the walk. So Blauser's aboard. That's the third Medina walk in the game. Let's check out who's cleaning up in baseball. It's brought to you by Hoover. Kevin Ory already with 5 runs batted in. Gary Sheffield with 6. His have come via 2 long home runs. And Kevin takes a quick strike. I'd say he's ahead of the pace.
Well ahead of not only the RBI pace, but he didn't hit his first home run till June 11th of last year. And he has a towering home run here at Pro Player Stadium.
0-2. Talking things over here in Miami. The 2-strike offering. He laid off. Cardinals lead the Dodgers 1-0 in the second. Montreal has scored against the Pirates 1-0 in the third. The rest of the National League action is tonight. Short lead by Blauser, and the breaking ball way high.
Well, you would think after missing with a couple of breaking balls that Kevin would see a fastball here from Medina. The last fastball he saw, he hit it high off the wall.
Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Bouncing ball up the middle. Renteria can't get that one. It's into center for a hit. He is on fire. Ory 2 for 2 again today. And first and second with 1 man down for Tyler Houston.
Well, Kevin did indeed see a fastball, and this one, pretty good pitch. Down and away. He takes it right back up the middle by Renteria. So the Cubs in business here in the fourth. Jim Leland positioning his defense. He wanted Ryan Jackson to move a little bit further back at first base and back of Ory.
Tyler Houston takes high and away.
And one of the things you've got to be very careful of is the great throwing arm of Johnson, and many times he'll go behind the left-hand hitter and try to pick the man off at first base.
1-0. Houston pops it up foul and out of play. Maury Telemaco's in the on-deck circle.
I assume they're going to take him down if this inning is still alive. You got Ben Van Ryn thrown in the bullpen, and you would assume 5 runs down, even though it's the 4th inning, that they got a good performance out of Telemaco, and it's time to go to the bench.
The change misses low. And now Tyler's ahead in the count. 2 balls and a strike. Houston, of course, a former first-round draft pick of the Atlanta Braves organization. Picked up his first RBI of the year. His last time up. 2 on, 1 out. Slapped foul and out of play. We're in the fourth. The Marlins jumped on the Cubs with 6 in the first. Jeremy Gonzalez started the game. Issued 4 walks, 3 hits. One of them a 3-run homer by Gary Sheffield, but didn't record an out. And now the Cubs try to battle back in the final game of the series. He just did stay alive.
Well, it's hard to say that there's a crucial inning or a crucial situation, but this inning is important to the Cubs because they have to go to the top of the order for the Marlins in the 4th inning. And 5 runs down. You'd like to put at least 1 or 2 on the board here.
Jeff Blauser the lead at second, Ori from first. And a 2-2 offering. Change up, swung on, hammer, deep toward right. Sheffield on the run. It is gone. And a baby Tyler Houston, a long 3-run homer. And just like that, we're back in business. It's 6-4.
All 4 runs courtesy of Tyler Houston. The only doubt about that was, would it stay fair? It was a towering fly ball. It was a hanging breaking ball, and Medina sees the Cubs come right back, and the reaction of Tyler Houston when he knows was going to stay fair.
Yeah, big blow from Houston, 6-4. We're still in the 4th, and now the other advantage, the way Telemaco's pitching, you can afford to leave him in the game now. You don't have to go to your pen now. You're down just 2 runs. And he sends a drive into left center field, but Katse has a play. 2 down. Tyler Houston's first home run, a rocket down the right field line, and that's no cheapie. It's 345 down the line in this big ballpark. And he had just enough windage on at 350 feet, the estimated distance. To the top of the order we go, and Lance Johnson, who's 0 for 2, and he takes low.
He had a shot at Jim Leland. He knows that really no lead is safe with his pitching staff. And that's the kind of year it's going to be for him.
Outside from Lance. It's 2-2. 2-0, excuse me.
A little different this year. You're not sending Kevin Brown and Alex Fernandez and Al Leiter, Tony Saunders to the mound. It's a bunch of very young pitchers.
3 balls, no strikes. And more in all of professional sports, not just baseball, youngsters are cutting their teeth at the big league level. Medina, one of them. Lance had a great defensive game last night. And now he joins the fray offensively with an extra base hit down the line. He might get 3 out of this. Sheffield over there picks it up. Here comes Johnson around second. He's on his way to third. He'll make it without a throw. Second triple of the series for Johnson.
Lance is the king of triples, and when he took it down the line, he had 3 bases in mind when he left the batter's box. This one rifled down the line, and Lance Johnson off to the races.
So Lance Johnson with his second triple of the series slides into third, and Rich Doobie, the pitching coach, is out chatting with Rafael Medina. Marlin bullpen starts to get a little busy. Last night, Felix Heredia started. They're trying to convert him from a pen man to a starter. Mixed results last night. He lasted just 5 innings. And they had Kurt Ojala, Vic Derensburg, and Oscar Enriquez.
Jesus Sanchez throwing in the pen. We saw him opening night, and he was pretty impressive.
Mickey Morandini takes high. 2 outs in the inning, but a base hit here makes it a 1-run game. And there it is. 6-5. Morandini comes through with 2 outs. He's trying for 2. Sheffield's throw right on the money. The run does score, though. Morandini never stopped when he got to first. Made Sheffield make a perfect throw. He did make it. And now, wait a minute. Are they waving off the run? Or are they saying he's safe? Yeah, they're saying he dropped the ball, so Morandini is safe. The Marlins already into their dugout. How about that? I don't think I've ever seen that call.
Jim Leland out there to talk it over. And it's Bruce Dreckman and Frank Pulley. And he's saying, how can you see it if the man at second couldn't see it?
But how about the hustle from Morandini? You don't see many guys challenge a Sammy Sosa or a Gary Sheffield, especially when they come on charging like he did, and a short throw to second in front of him.
Well, he did challenge him, but he would have been out had the ball been held, and apparently Bruce Dreckman said it wasn't. And Jim Leland, not a very happy man right now.
He's about to get run. I don't think I've ever seen a call like that. A bang-bang out safe where the team in its entirety heads to the dugout thinking the play is over, and then they pull him back onto the field. Here comes Medina now.
Let's take a look at it again. It's a perfect throw by Sheffield. And Frank Pulley, I believe, called him out. The ball is just waiting for him. And right there, he is out. And
yeah, he never dropped the ball.
I personally can't understand the call. He was out by 10 feet.
I guess he's saying he either didn't tag him or Morandini got the right hand in around the tag.
Frank Pulley called him out at second. Now, Frank Pulley, who was the umpire on the call, did call him out.
I guess either he missed the tag or he got the right hand in. In any event, it's a break for the Cubs, as Morandini in scoring position now for Sammy Sosa in a one-run game. I'm with you. I saw Pulley say he's out at second. I mean, the ball beat him by a country mile.
And for whatever reason, Bruce Dreckman overruled him on the call. It's most unusual.
No balls and a strike to Sammy. The Cubs have charged back with 4 here in the 4th. And Sosa pops that one down the first base line. Tough play for Ryan Jackson. Twisting into foul ground. He makes the grab, and the side is retired. But the Cubs score 4 on 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. They leave a runner at second, and after 3.5, Tyler Houston, and the Cubs are within a run.
Unhappily, Tiffany's doing everything she can to hide an older boyfriend.
I may be home late, so don't wait up and don't look out the window.
But wait till her parents find out he's famous.
Photo op.
It's the perfect picture of embarrassment for Tiffany. Then, on All Right Already, Renee's dating the ultimate nice guy. But is he too good to be true?
He finds time to make pancakes for the homeless. Usually your boyfriends are the ones eating those pancakes.
All Right Already after Unhappily. Sunday night at 8 on WGN.
It's an all-out war on the next adventures of Data.
Sunday at 12:30 on WGN.
A lot of times when something goes wrong with your car, you know it right away. But some parts, like shock absorbers, tend to wear out gradually over time. So gradually that many drivers fail to realize just how worn their shocks have become. So rather than wait till it's painfully obvious that you need new shocks, stop by your nearest AutoZone. Right now, when you buy 3 Gabriel Gas Rider shocks or struts, you get the 4th one free, only at AutoZone.
Frank, I'm thinking about moving to another swamp.
Oh, really?
I'm just not comfortable living in a swamp where assassination attempts are taking place. Every loon with a vendetta, every snake with a sinus headache frightens me.
Hey, snap out of it, Louis. Everybody knows it was you.
Oh, Frank, I had no motive. I love Budweiser, and I love the frogs.
Oh, yeah, you're good buddies. I forgot.
Excuse me, if you would remember last summer, I invited them to that barbecue.
Yeah, well, Louis, you wanted to cook them at that barbecue.
But at least I invited them.
Oh.
You wouldn't have invited them at all.
It's a 6-5 game as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning in the top of the Marlin order. Floyd, Renteria, and Jackson. Stoney, what happened on this play?
Well, you can see it's interference right there, and they're saying that Ryan Jackson interfered with the path to second, and that's why Bruce Dreckman overruled Pulley. He was indeed out at second. Bruce Dreckman, the first base umpire, said that Jackson impeded the progress of Morandini, called interference, and awarded him second base.
And the Cubs now within a run, and Amari Telemaco has just been dazzling so far in his 4 innings of work. He's given up 1 hit and walked 2, make it 2 hits. If that ball stays fair, it's long gone. It is. And on an 0-2 pitch. Second home run of the day for the Marlins. Second home run of the year for Floyd. That ball just carried out toward right. And Florida's lead once again now 7-5.
Well, Cliff Floyd had a terrible spring, but the last spring training game he went 4 for 5. And now he's carried it over into the year. This one had too much of the plate for an 0-2 pitch, and Cliff Floyd put a charge into it. This is why a lot of people in Montreal, when he came up, compared him with a young Willie McCovey. And until he shattered that wrist, it looked like he was going to turn into a young Willie McCovey. And now it seems like all that promise and all that potential is coming about.
So the Marlins in a wild game now lead it by 2. And Cliff Floyd right down the line in right. As his second home run of the season. Edgar Renteria now behind in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Got him swinging. Nice comeback, Amari. There's your first out in the 4th and the 3rd strikeout in the game.
And now, the first baseman, number 3, Ryan Jackson.
Good hard slider by Telemaco, and completely fools Renteria.
1 out, 1 in. And Mr. Interference, Ryan Jackson, the hitter. It's anybody's ball game now. Both of these teams very offensive-minded. I guess that's putting it kindly. Swing and a miss. Tyler Houston has had a big day offensively. Wears that new hockey-style catcher's mask. Boy, there's not a whole lot of gray area among catchers regarding that newfangled contraption. Some guys love it, some guys hate it. And they're 2 very distinct camps. Bouncer towards second. Morandini will gobble that up. And there's out number 2. His biggest complaint about that mask is that it gets heavy and very hot in the summertime. But the positive is you get great sight lines. You can see everything much more clearly as opposed to the cage.
And probably because of the angle of the mask itself, you don't take quite the blow on the foul tips. It probably angles off instead of hitting you flush.
Well, here's Sheffield. He's homered once, just missed his second of the day, his last time up, as he sent Henry to the warning track and the wall. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Opening night, after the Cubs fell behind early, 6-0, they battled back to make it 6-5, just like today. On the opening night, it was a 3-run homer by Charles Johnson that put a little daylight between the Marlins and themselves.
The 2-1. Swung on, hammered again, deep down the left field line. Will it stay fair? It's just in play for Henry, and he makes the grab. Sheffield just missed another one. Just enough room, and he hauls it in to retire the side. No problem. 1 run, 1 hit. Nobody left. A wild one in South Florida.
Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN is brought to you by Hoover. Nobody gets the dirt like Hoover. Nobody.
you ask us. It just tastes better.
Budner, get these tax documents to our clients fast, but watch our costs.
FedEx can deliver it in 2 days for up to $11. UPS can deliver it in 2 days for up to $11.
Priority Mail can deliver it in 2 to 3 days for $3.
Smart move, Budner.
So, 11, 11, 3, what's your priority? Priority mail from the U.S. Postal Service.
Lighter yet stronger. More power from less space. More space from less size. A drag coefficient among the lowest in the world. There's more than a pattern emerging here. It's the world's first use of cyber synthesis, where vehicles are designed, built, and tested in the virtual world so they'll perform better in the real world. The new Durango and the new Intrepid. New vision from the new Dodge.
Jamie Jams with special guest Mary J. Blige.
We're kicking off our Throw Your Panties on the Stage World Tour.
Sunday night at 7:30 on WGN.
One pitch, one out here in the 5th inning as Mark Grace grounds out the short.
Mark hits this ball hard, but Edgar Renteria right there with the quick hands, and the rest is easy.
We got to find a way to outlaw Gary Sheffield. He's scary.
He thought he had another one. Came very close to hitting 3 home runs today, and Henry Rodriguez back in the corner with just enough room to spare. Looks in his glove. Yes, indeed.
He swings at the first ball this time, does Henry. Pops it down the third base side, and Josh Booty runs out of room.
Got a feeling Henry's going to hit this ball real hard, and he's going to hit it into right center somewhere. He's had some very good swings at Medina. Hit the ball very well last time. If Medina gets this one middle in, Henry could put a charge into it. The ball is going out in right today.
One ball, one strike.
Looking at Charles Johnson. That's the fastball inside.
Downstairs. Pop foul back and out of play. It's 2-2. Don't know if you want to bring the candy bars to Wrigley tomorrow. They might be frozen. Might hurt somebody if he has a big day tomorrow. You ever had an O. Henry?
Very good. Baby Ruth, my favorite, however.
All right.
Yes.
The 3-2. Ripped hard.
Into right center.
So he's got his first hit of the day. And 7 on the afternoon for the Cubbies. And Jeff Blauser, who has been a very consistent man at the plate this entire series. Jeff's been on twice today. He singled and walked. He scored 2 of the runs. Yesterday, Jeff was on base 1, 2, 3, 4 times, scored 3 times. Opening night, Jeff was on twice and scored once. And again, a very versatile guy in your lineup. Today, Blauser hitting in the number 6 hole. And he takes low, 1-0.
I was in New York when they introduced the Reggie bar. And Reggie happened to hit a home run that day, and they threw all of them on the field. 50-some thousand Reggie bars flying all over the field. Took about 15 minutes to clean them up.
1 ball, no strikes. Blauser represents the tying run, but hits this one right up the elevator shaft. Renteria battles the sun, makes the play. There's out number 2.
Well, the official score, after much deliberation, have finally got the rule right, where they give a single to Morandini and then an error on Ryan Jackson at first base for the interference call.
So give the Marlins the lone error on the day. And now Kevin Ory bats with 2 men out and a runner at first. Kevin 2 for 2, a single and a double. It's a 2-run game. in favor of the Marlins, 7-5 in the fifth. Ori sends a drive into shallow left center field. Kotze broke back, now comes charging. He'll make the play, and the side is retired. No runs, a hit, one man left. We're halfway home in South Florida. The Marlins lead it by just 2.
What do you get when you fly Southwest Airlines? Fun fares.
Well, you've waited so long for a fare to get so nice and low now. Now you really should fly.
Light up the night. Southwest Airlines fun fares are so low. Want to see that again? Now you can fly just for the fun of it.
With us, 'cause we got a lot of things to do now. Now you really should fly. And you have fun, 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 flying Southwest on a fun fair today. Fun, fun, flying on a fun fair today.
Frank, I'm thinking about moving to another swamp.
No, really?
I'm just not comfortable living in a swamp where assassination attempts are taking place. Every loon with a vendetta, every snake with a sinus headache frightens me.
Hey, snap out of it, Louis. Everybody knows it was you.
Oh, Frank, I had no motive. I love Budweiser, and I love the frogs.
Oh, yeah, you're good buddies. I forgot.
Excuse me, if you would remember last summer, I invited them to that barbecue.
Yeah, well, Louis, you wanted to cook them at that barbecue.
But at least I invited them.
Oh.
You wouldn't have invited them at all.
A participating advertiser for Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN is the new Dodge. From cars to minivans to trucks, it's about change. The new Dodge.
Wow, that was almost as good as a Jolly Rancher.
Jolly Rancher, it's his hands.
Anne Klein Eyewear by Luxottica. What do you want people to see?
I want you to see fearlessness.
The unexpected.
I want you to see you don't need words to make a statement.
Let them see you in Anne Klein Eyewear by Luxottica.
Tiffany's dating a famous comedian?
I haven't missed a single episode of your show.
Neither have I. Unhappily. Sunday night at 8 on WGN.
7-5, Marlins have the lead. Good to see the youngsters at the old ballpark today. Why aren't they in school? School's still in session, if I'm not mistaken. Could it be spring break, right? Yeah, that's why.
Could be.
Mark Kotze is the hitter. And Mickey Morandini's going to put him away. One out here in the fifth. Boy, again, you can't say enough about Amari Telemaco so far this afternoon.
Sanchez continues to throw in the bullpen, and you would think that with the pitches piling up for Medina after getting him through 5, that perhaps Jim Leland will have said, good enough outing for your first one, and we'll go to the pen, but we'll have to see what happens. Medina would be up 5th this inning.
Here's C.J. Charles Johnson. There's Mr. Sanchez. He's on his way to the dugout. C.J. walked and scored in the first when the Marlins sent 11 men to the plate. One and two. Montreal leads the Pirates 2-0. In the bottom of the 4th inning, Jason Schmidt is on mound for Pittsburgh. Cardinals lead the Dodgers 1-0 as Johnson is retired on strikes. 4th strike for Mr. Telemaco, who has pitched marvelously in relief. Cubs fans, make sure you pick up the first 1998 issue of Cubs Quarterly magazine. This special yearbook edition features Harry Carey on the cover and includes a tribute to the late broadcasting great. It also contains articles and photos previewing the 1998 Cubs. Cubs Quarterly is available at Wrigley Field as of opening day, but reserve your copy of this collectible magazine in advance by calling 800-248-WINS. And remember, accept no invitations, ask for Cubs Quarterly by name. 2 up, 2 down. Craig Counsell here in the 5th.
The last Cubs reliever to go more than 4 innings, Turk Wendell. He went 5 against Cincinnati, July 13th of '95. So relievers for the Cubs don't go very long, but Telemaco doing a nice job of it here today.
Remember, he came on with the bases loaded in the first, nobody out. And 4 runs already in. Gave up a single to Josh Booty. Walked Cliff Floyd to score 2 more runs, but since then has been nearly perfect. And with 2 outs, counts the walks, and Josh Booty comes in to the box.
And here comes Jim Riggleman. Wants to have a quick word with Telemaco. And it's probably about not getting careless with the fastball. He realizes that Booty has some problems with the slider. Telemaco's slider today has been very good. In fact, both outings for Amari have been terrific. And one of the reasons why Riggs went out there was to give Van Ryn a chance. Because if this inning stays alive, undoubtedly Jim Leyland will go to the bench. Derek Lee in the on-deck circle.
And for Telemaco, the 72nd pitch of the afternoon is low and away. "7-5, Marlins lead it." Booty has singled, he's walked, he's driven in a run. And that's taken low. 2-0.
And now be careful with the fastball, because Booty can hit that, especially when he's looking for it. And he's looking for it here, especially middle in.
High pop. He got under it. Blauser pointing the way for Henry Rodriguez, who shields his eyes, makes the grab, and the side is retired. No runs, no hits, 1 man left after 5. Cubs within 2 runs.
Is your electric trimmer feeling weak? Tired of hassling with that bump and feed spool? Get more power with the all-new Grassgator electric trimmer head. It installs in seconds with no tools and turns your ordinary electric trimmer into a powerful cutting machine. 2 serrated blades slice through stubborn weeds and tall grass, and blades change in seconds with Grassgator's patented snap-pin design. Rains from El Nino guarantee a bumper crop of weeds this year. Fight back with the Grassgator. If it doesn't have an alligator on the package, you're working too hard. Available at fine home centers worldwide.
With all its room, power, and payload, a Dodge truck can go just about anywhere. Right now, your Dodge dealer is taking this truck someplace a Dodge truck rarely goes. On sale. Announcing the National Dodge Truck Sale, where you can lease this Dodge Ram loaded with a mighty Magnum V8, air, and an automatic for just $229 a month. Or you can lease this hot Dakota Sport for just $199 a month and get a Magnum V6 at no extra charge. Select Dodge trucks now on sale at your friendly Dodge dealer.
Introducing a whole new look for Pepsi.
You know we wanna drink P-E-P-S-I. You know we wanna drink P-E-P-S-I. You just open a can. Yeah, there's only one choice. So kick back and enjoy. You know we wanna drink P-E-P-S-I. You know
All new look, same great taste. Pepsi, Generation Next.
This copyright telecast is presented by the authority of the Chicago National League Ball Club, which has right of approval of the announcers and is intended solely for the private and non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Chicago National League Ball Club is strictly prohibited.
Chip Carey, Steve Stone back at Pro Player Stadium. How about these comeback Cubs this afternoon?
Well, they came back the opening night. Unfortunately, the Marlins were a little too tough for them, but this one's still in doubt, and Jesus Sanchez in the game. And the Cubs trying to come back from a 2-run deficit.
How about the job Amori Telemaco has done in relief? 5 huge innings for the Cubs.
2 outings now for Telemaco. He's done a great job in both of them, but especially today.
And Tyler Houston rips another shot into the outfield. This one stays in play, but he's got his 2nd hit in a row on a day when Tyler Houston's provided 4 runs batted in. So he leads off the 6th with a solid single.
Sanchez greeted rather rudely by Houston.
And now Manny Alexander's going to come on and pinch hit for Telemaco. Well, what an afternoon for that young man. So here's Manny Alexander. And he takes inside. Telemaco, unofficially 5 innings of work. I've got him with 2 hits, 1 run at the Floyd homer.
Couple of walks and 4 strikeouts.
Great afternoon here in South Florida for him.
And it looks like Van Ryn will follow him. And he did exactly what a long reliever has to do. Just make sure that your offense has a chance to come back, and the Cubs still right in the middle of this one.
Alexander checked his swing. They'll appeal, and first base umpire Bruce Dreckman says he went. So he didn't check it in time. 1-1.
The hard slider down and in, and Alexander thought he had taken it. Dreckman had other ideas.
1-1. Tyler Houston, the lead over at first. And way outside from Sanchez, 2-1. Again, the Marlins playing in front of that runner over at first.
This one well out of the zone from the diminutive Sanchez. They list him at 5'10", just 153 pounds.
Did he go around? Yes, he did.
Same pitch again, cut fastball low and in, and once again, Manny couldn't check his swing.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Alexander sends a drive deep toward left. Cliff Floyd back at the track, at the wall. That ball is gone. A pinch hit home run for Manny Alexander. And the Cubs have drawn to even level. It's 7-7 in the 6th.
The bench in this series and put some life into the offense, and this time the same slider didn't get low and in. Alexander took it out. It hits the top of the wall, and the Cubs are tied.
Lance Johnson grounds to short, and he's retired for out number 1. Manny hit it over the teal monster, hit it in the only spot over there where the hitter gets a break. If you look at the National and the American League scoreboards, in between they have the lineups and the clock. Well, under that, or above that Nations Bank sign, there's a little gap, and that's where the ball just crept over the fence for the long home run.
That's the perfect spot for it and the perfect time as far as the Cubs are concerned. Manny Alexander has tied up the ball game. Hit a grand total of 3 home runs last year. So he's a third of the way there.
And now Morandini takes inside. Mr. Sanchez is rattled with the count 3-0. The Cubs were down 6 after 1. They battle back to tie the game at 7. And on 4 straight, Morandini draws the walk.
Jim Leyland's going to be seeing a lot of this. His offense still fairly intact, but that pitching staff with a lot of new faces, including 8 rookies, and they're going to walk a lot of people and give up a lot of home runs.
A home run here would be nice. We got one from Manny, his first career pinch hit home run. And Jim Riggleman pushing the right buttons today. Brings in Telemaco after Jeremy Gonzalez couldn't register an out. Amari gives him 5 innings of 1-run baseball. He plugs in Manny Alexander and cracks a 2-run homer to tie the game.
And starts Tyler Houston, who hits a 3-run homer to get the Cubs close.
1 strike pitch to Sammy, misses outside, 1-1. 7-7 in the 6th. You can't beat expansion-type baseball. All these runs, fans have got to love it. I don't know about the pitching coaches, but the fans ought to. And Sammy tried to add another 2-run blast. You ought to make a comeback.
Well, there is a scarcity of quality pitchers around, but unfortunately, most everything works but my arm.
Can you throw left?
Not well.
1-2. Got it. Out number 2 in the 6th. Sammy's 0 for 4 with a couple of punch-outs.
He's swinging at the invisible ball here. This one just diving away. Sammy swings through it.
Here's Mark Grace. And the first pitch to him, a weak roller foul past first.
Bigger crowd today than last night.
17,209. They had 16,877 on opening night, which is what they call the second game of the season down here. 41,000 for opening day, which the Marlins won. 1 strike to Mark Grace. 2 strikes now. The 0-2 pitch. He laid off. It's 1-2. Mark 0 for 2 today with the walk.
A veteran can take this one and get the benefit of the call.
A comeback Cubs have battled back from 6-0. Can they seal the deal? And a pickoff play perhaps, or do we have a balk? We have a balk.
And once again,
Bruce Dreckman. Yeah, he called the balk.
Right in the middle of it. And that's
Here comes Jimmy Leland.
That's going to bring Mr. Leland out to get an explanation.
And again, the Marlins came charging off the field once they had Mickey Morandini picked off.
Well, I think what Dreckman's going to say is that Sanchez's foot came back over the pitching rubber, and when that happens, you have to go home with it. And that's a judgment call, so Jim Leland can't win this one.
So a balk on Sanchez sends Morandini to second. And Grace still in the box. Let's see if we can see whether or not Sanchez did bring that foot behind the rubber.
Watch it again, and hard to tell from that angle, but apparently from the angle that Bruce Dreckman was looking, it was a balk.
Our first rhubarb of the summer.
There's another angle. And didn't look like much to me, but I'm not making the call.
Not a very animated conversation right now. Dreckman gets his say in. And Leland, apparently satisfied, heads back to the Marlins dugout. They'll really boo if Gracie can come through with a base hit. That man's had a fine day today. Ball club came from 6 runs down to tie it.
Jim Leland has been on the field longer than Jeremy Gonzalez was.
The 1-2 is in the dirt. 2-2. Yeah, forgettable outing for Jeremy today. Didn't register an out.
But he will not pick up a loss today, as his teammates will certainly pick him up by battling back.
2-2. The go-ahead run is at second. Sanchez sets and delivers. Just missed low. It's 3-2.
Well, it's been Morandini who's been out at second twice, and both times he was given second base.
He's got a huge lead-out there now. The 3-2. And a good cut, found it away. It's a 7-7 game in the bottom of the 6th in South Florida. Let's pause for station identification.
This is America's #1 sports station, WGN, Chicago.
A beautiful afternoon for baseball. Could be even prettier if the Cubs could win this 3rd game of the series. Grace, a cue shot. Booty knocked it down. Good play. Didn't panic, threw him out. And that retires the Cubs in the 6th, but the big blow, Manny Alexander's first career pinch hit home run. He hit it in a perfect spot. He ties the game at 7 after 5.5.
Irresistible. Luscious. The new 99-cent Great Tastes menu at Burger King. 7 mouth-watering items, just 99 cents every day. What could be more tempting?
Are you going to eat all that?
Yeah.
If you ask us, it just tastes better.
Budner, get these tax documents to our clients fast, but watch our costs.
FedEx can deliver it in 2 days for up to $11. UPS can deliver it in 2 days for up to $11.
Priority Mail can deliver it in 2 to 3 days for $3.
Smart move, Budner.
So, 11, 11, 3, what's your priority? Priority mail from the U.S. Postal Service.
And let's start with the brewmaster for just a moment. The brewmaster is the chef, and that is the key brewmaster role, to understand the blending of his or her ingredients. Not only he or she tastes the beer every day, there's another person who tastes the beer every day, and that is me. The ability to have hands-on brewmasters working with the finest ingredients gives you Budweiser.
On Freno, is there a problem with the principal?
She's out of whack because you blackjack? Better tell her to step back. You're the man.
Sunday night at 6 on WGN.
On a Discover Card payback today, they say the hitters are ahead of the pitchers early in the season, but don't tell the Marlins' Alex Fernandez that. He threw a 1-hit, 8-strikeout gem to shut out the Cubs in a 1-0 pitching duel last April 10th at Wrigley Field. His first time back in Chi-Town after 7 seasons with the White Sox, a big-time success on our Discover Card payback. No pitchers duel today, Stoney, as the Cubs bring on Ben Van Ryn.
He had a great spring, 10 outings, a 1.80 ERA, and he forced his way on this club. And now he has to inherit from Amari Telemaco a game that falls squarely in his lap. He's going to be the pitcher of record as he faces diminutive John Cangelosi, a man who will take a walk if you don't get it close.
He flips it toward third. Kevin Ory puts that away, and with that at bat, Cangelosi is retired on a weak pop to third. Good to have the leadoff man retired. As Cangelosi, the first out of the inning, and back to the top of the order we go, and Cliff Floyd, the batter. He's been a real royal pain. He's walked twice, scored once. He's homered and knocked in 2 runs today. Close the book on Mr. Sanchez for the Marlins. 1 inning, 2 hits, 2 runs, a walk, a strikeout, and a home run. And Floyd takes strike 1. That missed low.
Is that the multi-digited Antonio L. Fonseca loosening up?
I think so. My 6th sense tells me that he is down there getting ready. Floyd sends a cannon shot to straightaway center, but Lance Johnson flips the shades down at the last moment and puts it away for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down for the shortstop, Edgar Renteria. He's walked and scored. He's wrapped into a double play and has struck out swinging. Well, this would be a big, big game for the Cubs to win.
Certainly would give them the confidence that if they did fall behind early, they could battle their way back. And just the fact that it's a tie game has to give this offense the idea that no opposition lead is really safe.
Look out, folks. Van Ryn plunks Renteria. Renteria's all right.
No way to get out of the way of this one. And here's the biggest out of the game as far as the Cubs are concerned. With no right-hander up in the pen, if you don't get Jackson, you've got to face Sheffield with the left-handed Van Ryn, and that's not a real good thing to happen.
Every time he's been up, he's scared us half to death. Speaking of Mr. Sheffield, and Renteria maybe not all right. That caught him square in the left leg. So now we're set to go, and Jackson the hitter. Ryan Jackson singled home a run and scored later in the first inning. Has bounced to first with the pitcher covering and rounded out to second. Runner goes. Houston's throw on the money and not in time. You don't think he kind of deked the Cubs into thinking he wouldn't be running, do you?
Gave him the old sore leg trick and then took off with the first move. That was a pretty good throw by Tyler Houston. The throw was up just a bit. And Renteria slides in, and he is indeed safe. He tagged him on the knee, and obviously the foot has to be on the bag at that point. And so Frank Pulley with a good call and the go-ahead run out at second base.
But Jackson in an 0-1 hole, and Van Ryn back to work. He's ahead 0-2. Well, the pitcher's got the luxury of being a little careful with this guy. But again, you don't want to be too careful, especially considering who's waiting to hit next. That's right, folks. It's 7-7 in the sixth. Cubs were down 6-0 after 1. Breaking ball, fly ball. It's shallow center field. Johnson coming on, still coming. He's got it. And that retires the side. No runs, no hits, a hit batter, one man left. We go to the 7th inning. Let's get the lead, folks. It's 7-7.
Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN is brought to you by Pepsi. Generation Next.
Hey, what's that?
What's what?
Need a new fishing boat? New fishing gear? Your favorite auto parts store has gone fishing. Napa's giving away dive-wall fishing kits with your Zuri lures at every store. And 8 Ranger boats with Evinrude motors. Come on in for the Gone Fishing sweepstakes and sale. Now get Max Car Care products, your choice for only $1.69.
What do you look for in grass seed? Quick results?
We seeded it with Scott's seed last fall. As soon as I planted it, boom, it just came in.
A really terrific lawn?
And it feels like crushed velvet under your feet. It's wonderful.
How about weeds? Bargain brands can contain thousands of weed seeds that can ruin your lawn forever.
You can spend $1 or $2 less for a bag of seed.
But you don't want weeds in your grass seed.
Scott's Premium Grass Seed, 99 and 99 100% weed-free for a beautiful lawn guaranteed.
The ultimate Derek Jeter dream date. First, you call a girl. Tell her that you're preparing a perfect candlelight dinner for her. I throw in some R&B. I can't cook, so I'll order some food. Tell them to give me the works and put it on my Discover card. Splash on a little cologne. Throw on your apron. The Discover card cashback bonus is the icing on the cake. What else would she want to do but to watch highlights of us winning the World Series in 1996?
It pays to Discover. To apply, call 1-800-IT-PAYS-TO. Accepted where you see the Novus sign.
Jamie Jams with special guest Mary J. Blige.
We're kicking off our Throw Your Panties on the Stage World Tour.
Sunday night at 7:30 on WGN.
A little peck on the cheek for dear old Dad. Little girl's having a great time here at Pro Player Stadium. And it's 7-7 as we go to the 7th. If you're planning a group outing during 1998, and if you have a group of 20 or more, then Wrigley Field provides the perfect setting for corporate, family, or social outings. Plenty of seats are available. Make your plans now and be sure to ask about special discounts given to groups of 50 or more. For group ticket info, call 773-404-CUBS.
Second appearance this year for Antonio L. Fonseca. He pitched an inning and 2/3 of perfect baseball against the Cubs in the opener.
And he of the 6 fingers and toes, or is it 5 fingers, 1 thumb? We still haven't gotten the definitive answer on that yet. But he faces Henry Rodriguez leading off the 7th inning. And a rifle shot up the middle. Good start in the Cubs 7th.
A couple of hits today for Henry as he takes it right back up the middle. And now Blauser taking a long look down at Tom Gamboa. See what he might have as far as hit and run perhaps, although Henry doesn't run particularly well. Certainly want to stay out of the double play here.
Jeff is singled, he's walked, he's scored twice, and has popped to short. And he takes low from Mr. Alfonseca. 1 ball, no strikes. Alfonseca, a big man, 6'5". His weight rather generously listed at 235. He looks much heftier than that. But a Rule 5 pick from the Marlins front office back in 1993. And I'll give you 3 guesses if you can pick from which organization they plucked him. The 2-0 to Jeff. He's right through there. The Expos.
Well, Dave Dombrowski very familiar with the Expo organization, as is Gary Hughes. And they've done a nice job of bringing some people over.
The 2-1 runner goes. They play hit and run, and Jeff fouls it off. It's 2-2. Montreal leading the Pirates 3-1. That game now moves to the bottom of the 6th inning. The Dodgers have picked up a run against the Cardinals. It's 2-1 St. Louis in the top of inning number 5 as Mark Peixoto starts to loosen up. Later tonight, the Padres are in Cincinnati. The Phillies and Mets hook up at Shea. Houston hosts the Giants. Colorado is at Arizona. And Milwaukee and the Braves get together on Don Sutton's 50th birthday at Turner Field.
The Hall of Famer, Don Sutton.
And hats off to Don. Tremendous honor.
And also congratulations to Jaime Marin, a fine Spanish broadcaster, Los Angeles Dodgers, also in the Hall of Fame.
A little blooper down the right field line. Jackson gives chase, and it's out of play.
Jaime, a wonderful man. I was very happy to hear that he had been selected to the Hall of Fame, the broadcaster's wing.
And a much-deserved honor.
Don Sutton, 324 Major League wins. Boy, they really relax the standards when you can sneak into the Hall of Fame with those kind of numbers.
Wonder what uniform or which cap he'll go in under as Blauser swings and strikes out. Alfonseca retires Blauser. Will he be a Dodger or an Angel or a Brewer or an Astro?
I would say the majority of those wins came with Dodger blue, but who knows?
A 1-on-1 out for Kevin Ory. Again, it's a 7-7 game in the 7th.
Kevin can top off quite a series by getting an extra base hit here.
Chopper toward third. Booty, good play. Can they turn it? Yes, they can. Well, he struggled with his glove the first 2 games of this series, but Booty turned a nifty double play there. 5-4-3 and out. Nothing doing in the top of the 7th. It's still 7-7.
Just a
little touch of a heartfelt love song. Make it in the key of a romance gone wrong. Mix it with a heart that has waited too long. Southwest is flying into Nashville. If it has a groove, we can two-step, honey. We can rock and roll till it ain't even funny. If it's kind of blue, we can still save money. Southwest is flying into Nashville. Sing another train song, make another pain song. Everybody sing along. Fly Southwest to Nashville for a song.
Here's an easy quiz. Which car has the highest horsepower and most interior room? Good. And with $1,500 cash back, which car has the lowest price? Very good. Or instead of cash back, Dodge Neon comes with what low financing rate? Very, very good. And what can this rate save you over 60 months? Correct. So please circle which car you want now. Excellent. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
How can Geico save you money on car insurance when you buy from us directly? We cut out the middleman. Geico, a 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance. A typical car insurance agent is on the job during regular business hours. On the other hand, Geico insurance professionals are on the job 24 hours a day. Geico, a 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Things are getting down and dirty on an all-new Hercules. Sunday at noon on WGN.
7-7 our score after the 7th inning stretch. Couple of changes for the Cubs. Brant Brown takes over in left, and the Cubs go to the bullpen for the 3rd time as well.
And that's Mark Peixoto coming into the ball game. The right-hander with very good stuff. And he's thrown right into the fire, facing Gary Sheffield, followed by Kotze and Johnson. So a good job by Telemaco and Van Ryn in relief of Gonzalez. Now it's up to Mark Peixoto.
6 innings of 2-hit, 1-run relief from those two gentlemen. And now Peixoto faces a guy that's off to a roaring start. Sheffield's already hit 1 3-home run tonight, and he's just missed 2 other home runs in the game. Oh, he got the fastball by him. There's a challenge you like to see. And Sheffield swung right through it.
Well, they put it in a good spot. He threw it up and in off the plate and just fired it right by Gary Sheffield. And if there is one spot you can get it by him, it's there.
0-1. Breaking ball, he fouled that back. What did someone say about Henry Aaron? Trying to sneak a fastball by him is like trying to sneak the sun past a rooster.
Yes. Or a pork chop by a bulldog.
Haven't heard that one, but I'll go with it. That works. 0-2. Sheffield wiggles that bat, rips a shot into the right center field gap. They had him played to pull. Sheffield might end up with 3 bases. He's going to take the turn and pull up standing at second. There's the go-ahead run for the Marlins now.
Well, you get this guy 0-2, and you can't make a mistake with a fastball. Peixoto tried to heat him upstairs, but instead of being inside like the first pitch, he got it outside, and Sheffield blasted to right center. He is awfully tough. Came in hitting .750, 2 for 4. He just missed a couple of home runs the 2 times the Cubs got him out. And now it's up to Mark Kotze to pull the ball and move along Sheffield.
3 of Sheffield's 5 hits now have been for extra bases on the young year. And Kotze, one of those young players the Marlins have raved about. We'll see if he can play the fundamental game here.
Kevin Ory thinks he's going to bunt because he's well in on the grass at third.
Not bunting, swinging, line drive, left field, base hit. Brant Brown comes up cleanly. First and third, nobody out.
We've been told that Mark Kotze was a great handler of the bat, and we've seen it this entire series. He doesn't try to overswing. He just puts the bat on the ball. That was a pitch that was impossible to pull. But with Ory well in at third, all you had to do was just get the bat on it and drive it by him. That's exactly what he did. So runners at the corners, nobody out. Phil Regan going to the mound with Bob Patterson loosening up in the bullpen. And the Cubs in jeopardy after battling back to tie it. Nobody out here in the 7th.
There's the veteran left-hander, Bob Patterson. And now the meeting on the mound continues. 7 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for the Marlins. The Cubs, 7 runs, 10 hits, no errors. Peixoto would love a strikeout at Johnson here. That would perhaps set up a double play, but a double and a single with nobody out has him at the corners for the Marlins. Senior producer, director of Cubs baseball is, of course, Arnie Harris. Today's game produced by Pete Toma. Our associate producer is Bart Fox. And the coordinating producer of Cubs baseball is Kim Fields. We thank them for their great work today, and hopefully some great work from Peixoto here to get himself out of the mess. Infield halfway now. As Johnson pops it up. Blauser and short. Flips the shades down, puts it away, and there's a big first out. No infield fly rule there. The runners have to be at first and second or bases full with less than 2 outs.
Now this will be interesting with Counsell up, who is a great handler of the bat. Jim Riggleman not leaving anything to chance. He's going to the left-hander, Patterson. That's going to be it for Peixoto. And you still have to watch the bunt. And here comes Bob. And there goes Mark.
First and third, 1 out. Patterson for Peixoto. We'll see how Robert fares right after this.
Sinbad's worst enemies lead an army of evil. What the devil? To declare an all-out war. Who will suffer? Me! Who will survive?
We're not going to make it!
Don't miss his greatest challenge ever on the next adventures of Sinbad.
Sunday at 12:30 on WGN.
He's coming.
The child of darkness.
Bringing forth a new world order.
Its very existence is a sin.
Absolute evil.
My soul.
And Gabrielle
You are the chosen one.
will deliver him.
I'm carrying a child.
What's inside her must die.
I'll die first.
Battle on, Cena.
Saturday at noon on WGN.
38-year-old Bob Patterson takes the mound in a tough spot. Marlins have him first and third. 1 out, a 7-7 game here in the 7th. And the second baseman, Craig Counsell, the man he has to get.
Well, he didn't fare very well opening day against the Marlins, as you see right there. He didn't retire anybody, gave up a couple of runs, but that doesn't matter today with runners at the corners. And you'd have to believe that the infield in the middle is looking for 2, but Ori has to play close at third base, and they have to respect the bunting ability of Counsell. He gets down the line very well, so on a chopper in the infield, it's going to be pretty tough to double him at first base. And there is Kevin Ori. Of course, a lot of pressure also on Tyler Houston to block anything in the dirt.
So the Marlins with a great chance to take the lead here. Ori even with the bag at third. Grace holds the runner at first. Double play depth up the middle for the Cubs. And Counsell takes a first pitch strike.
Well, he doesn't strike out very often. Last year, 17 strikeouts and 164 at bats. So odds are he's going to get the bat on the ball. But Patterson could really use a strikeout here.
No balls. And a strike. It's 0-2. So the youngster in a deep, deep hole against the veteran, crafty left-hander Bob Patterson. That's the go-ahead run. It's Gary Sheffield who doubled to open the inning. Counsell, good eye, watch watches that one sail by out of the zone. 1-2. One man out. Sheffield, a good lead down the line at third. Now Tyler Houston in front of the plate. Flashes the defensive signals.
He wants a fastball away. Let's see if Pedersen gets it there.
He did. And Counsell fouled it away. Another big game for Gary Sheffield, the big fish for these Marlins. 2 for 4 today. And Counsell a chance to drive him in and put Florida in front once again. They led it 6-0 after 1. The 1-2. Line drive, center field. Johnson's there, the catch. Sheffield tags. Here he comes. Here's the throw. It's in time. Tyler Houston blocked the play off, and Sheffield comes up hurting. 8-2 double play, and Sheffield goes down at home plate. And that's exactly what the Marlins cannot afford. He is really hurting. A shallow fly ball to center and a good throw from Lance.
And here comes Sheffield. Here comes the throw. And it's kind of an in-between slide as Sheffield tries to knock the ball out of the glove of Houston. And he comes up lame. Good tag by Tyler Houston.
Think fast, because here comes Kids WB at a million miles an hour this weekend. Every weekend, look at all these shows like Pinky and the Brain. They're always trying to take over the world and wearing silly suits. And of course, the Animaniacs are always acting like animated maniacs, except for Daughter's always acting cute. And Superman being like Super Duper Man, battling villains and saving Lois and fighting Lex Luthor. And of course, the Men in Black trying to save the Earth from the scum of the universe like weird-looking teddy bear things and ugly dudes with laser weapons. And Batman, of course, Batman, you know, the Dark Knight, Bruce Wayne, Gotham's strangest superhero. But what a cool car that guy has, huh? Then you got Pinky and the Brain again, still trying to take over the world. And then Sylvester and Tweety trying to eat each other. Oh, granted with some mysteries or something like that. I'm running out of time. I'm not going to have time to say it all. And every weekend on Kids WB. Oh.
Sunday mornings at 8 on WGN.
Serious investors, learn how higher gasoline prices at the pump could mean money in your pocket. Winter blizzards and ice storms will soon give way to springtime weather. Doesn't it make sense that as we move from winter's low gasoline demand into the driving season's increased consumption, that gas prices could rise as well? Call the Winter Group at 1-800-261-3888 for our free report on opportunities in the unleaded gasoline market. See how a $6,000 investment in gas options could return as much as $24,000 or more with a limited predetermined risk. That's right, a $6,000 investment could return $24,000 or more. The preceding was a mathematical leverage example and does not imply clients have or will achieve similar results. People can and do lose money, therefore only risk capital should be utilized. But if these are the kind of potential returns you're looking for, the time to call is now. Gasoline prices are near 12-month lows. So call now, 1-800-261-3888. 1-800-261-3888. Looks like Gary Sheffield's all right. That's certainly good news. 7-7 our score, Steve. Now here's today's Ameritech play that makes a difference.
Lance Johnson's not going to have many assists this year, but he gets a big one here. The throw is perfect. Tyler Houston with a great tag, and the Cubs come away with the tie, and that's the Ameritech playbook. Still a 7-7 game on a great tag by Tyler Houston after a great throw by Lance Johnson. And there's the knee problem.
Vic Derensburg on the mound for the Marlins now as Tyler Houston leads things off. Tell you what, these guys just keep picking each other up. It's a hero a day so far for the Cubs. Tyler Houston plugged into the lineup, giving Scott Service the day off. Has knocked in 4 runs, has scored twice, and has hit a long 3-run homer that got the Cubs back into the game, back in the 4th inning. And a home run cut came up empty.
Now, Brad Brown in the flip-flop lineup was due up next, but Matt Mieske has Grabbed the bat and is in the on-deck circle with the left-hander Derensburg on the mound.
There's Matt. And here's the 1-2. It's 2-2. Miski got in the game last night and walked and scored in the ninth. Houston pops it foul down the left field line. Long run for Josh Booty, but he runs out of room. Alfonseca went an inning, gave up a hit, struck out one. No runs, of course. So the game now in the hands of Derensburg and Patterson. Didn't mean to swing, but he stays alive. Well, he got the souvenir, but might need the shades a little more right now. Strike 3 call. Good pitch.
Good fastball, and Tyler Houston goes down, and Matt Miski comes out, so the day is done for Brant Brown. Plays an inning defensively and does not get an at-bat.
And undoubtedly will take over in left field as well. Here in the 8th, again, the Marlin bullpen very busy today. And Miski couldn't stop his swing. Again, Matt walked and scored in a 5-run ninth last night. Game the Cubs won 10-3. The change taken low.
Well, knowing they had a young, very inexperienced staff, Jim Leland has gone with 12 pitchers. Most unusual, especially early in the year when you get some rainouts, but they can throw a lot of pitchers at you.
One ball, 2 strikes for Jim Leland's Marlins. Miski behind in the count. Chops it toward third, bunt foul. And Tom Gamboa will make a friend as he tosses the souvenir into the stands. Cardinals still leading the Dodgers 2-1 in the 6th. Pittsburgh now has taken the lead in Montreal, 4-3 in the 7th. Boston and Oakland are underway. That game scoreless in the 2nd inning. Out in Oakland. That just missed. It's 2-2. Boy, it's a shame what they did to that ballpark at Oakland. It made that place look like the Battlestar Galactica with the football stands for the Raiders out there.
And then take a look at what they did in Anaheim. They made it into a beautiful ballpark.
Miski strikes out.
And Boston has to be very pleased with the initial outing of Pedro Martinez. Derensburg just blows Miski away. 2 up, 2 strikeouts.
All Mr. Martinez did was strike out 11 in 7 innings, gave up 3 hits. And then Eckersley and Gordon finished off Oakland in that game. It only scored 2 runs, but that was enough to beat Tom Candiotti and the Oakland team. Lance Johnson, his big throw, kept the game tied at 7. He is 1 for 4 today.
This hasn't been the offensive series that Lance probably would have wanted. Defensively, he's been terrific in center field.
Chopped towards second. And the inning is over. 3 up, 3 down. Mr. Derensburg does version of the Marlins order is due up. It's still 7-7.
This is my life. I have 5 kids.
Maggie, Katie, Molly, Aaron, and Ryan.
I want to be a lawyer, but there aren't any law schools where I live. So twice a week, after I get the kids off to school, I go to law school in another state. Southwest has lots of flights, so I get back in time to tuck my kids into bed.
A for ingenuity.
My kids take the bus to school. I take the plane.
You are now free to move about the country.
If you ask us, it just tastes better.
This is WGN, celebrating 50 years as Chicago's very own.
Matt Mieske stays in the game, plays left field now for the Cubs. And Bob Patterson set to go here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And they're still working on Gary Sheffield. Looks like the back of his left knee slid very awkwardly in the last half inning for the Marlins.
Well, they certainly don't want to see him miss any time because he's the one guy that can just break up the ball game with one swing of the bat.
Booty sends a shot toward third. Good play by Ori. And there's the first out of the 8th. And Derek Lee will come on and pinch hit for Vic Derensburg. And Lee, one of many they got from the Padres in that big Kevin Brown trade. There was talk that there was going to be a platoon here between Jackson and Lee. But in game 2, they started Jim Eisenreich at first base instead of Lee.
Well, I still think that Derek Lee is going to get his at-bats.
And Patterson misfires high. 1 ball, no strikes. And Houston's return throw sails back over the mound. There's Jay Powell, the new closer for this Marlin team. He was a very honest man in the newspapers today. He said, hey, I'm very nervous about becoming the closer on this team. He only has 4 career saves.
Ooh. Big shoes to fill with Rob Nen departing and going to San Francisco.
The 1-0. Right through there. There's the young Mr. Derek Lee. And Bob misses outside with that one, 2-1. So Derensburg goes an inning. No hits, runs, walks, 2 strikeouts. Marlins have struck out 8 Cubs today. 2-2 now. +17,000 on hand here at Pro Player Stadium. 15,000 of them sunburned. It's 3-2 now.
You couldn't ask for a better day. And of course, 83 degrees, some light breezes. And we haven't had a drop of rain in the 3 games. That'll all change.
Payoff pitch. And missed high and away. So Lee draws a 1-out walk. Pinch hitting in the 8th. And Floyd, Renteria, and Jackson lurking. Cubs have issued 8 walks today. Jeremy Gonzalez, 4 of them, as he faced 7 men in the first inning. Amari Telemaco with 3 walks in 5 innings. He was tremendous in keeping the Cubs in this game. In fact, that Patterson walked the first since Telemaco departed after the 5th inning. And a quick strike to Cliff Floyd. He's walked twice, he's homered, he's scored twice, and has knocked in 2. Downstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Milwaukee in town here in Florida next. They'll play the Marlins. We head back home and open up a set with the Expos starting tomorrow afternoon. Standing room only tickets for the home opener tomorrow at the Friendly Confines. There are seats available for the rest of that series and many others over the course of the season. And there's tomorrow's home opening day starter, Steve Traxel, who's been dominant at Wrigley Field in his career, especially of late. Leadoff man starts our coverage tomorrow at 1 o'clock, which includes, of course, the opening day festivities at Wrigley. As Traxel will be opposed by Javier Vasquez of the Expos. Floyd got into that pitch and sends it a mile high into center. Lance Johnson, glasses gleaming, makes the catch, and there's out number 2. In fact, we have the pitching matchup, Steve, for the entire series.
Javier Vasquez, a very talented young pitcher, going against Traxel. Then it's Mark Valdez against Terry Mulholland, and Trey Moore against Kevin Tapani on Sunday.
Terry pitched in the season opener. Came out of the bullpen with an inning of perfect relief as a tune-up after Kevin Tapani struggled so mightily. So hopefully Terry will get some run support and pick up a win. Didn't have much of either one of those last year with the Cubs team. But it's a new year. Edgar Renteria looks at a strike from Patterson, who's getting up there in pretty good shape. That one sails outside, a ball and a strike.
The outfield a little deeper than they'd normally be. You have to cut off a double, and they are spacious gaps here. Lee not getting much of a lead at first base.
Off foul backhand, out of play. Well, a tip of the cap to Jerry Manuel, the manager of the White Sox, former bench coach here at the Marlins. In his debut as the manager of the Pale Rose, picked up a victory and a very classy thing done by Dave Dombrowski. Sent a congratulatory bottle of bubbly as the White Sox won in their opener.
He was a coach here under Jim Leland, and a pretty good baseball man. He'll have a lot of hitting over there on the south side. But like most teams, you worry about the pitching.
And Patterson, with his move to first, gets the derisive walk cheer, as does first base umpire Bruce Dreckman. One ball, 2 strikes. Outside 2-2.
You really don't want to go to 3-2. You'd like to make it happen right here because Lee will not be running. On 3-2 with 2 outs, he'll have the advantage of a running start, and that'll make it easier to score on a 2-base hit.
A very short lead again by him. Now the pitch. Change, hammered into right. Sammy drifting back, still going. He's got it. And that retires the side. No runs, no hits. 1 man left. We've played 8. Morandini, Sosa, and Grace to come to the plate for the Cubs in a 7-7 game.
Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, offering low fares and frequent flights. Southwest Airlines, the official airline of the Chicago Cubs.
With all this action, you can't possibly catch all the hits, jams, shots, and slams. But we catch it all. Instant replay, Sunday at 9:40 on WGN.
True, there are other ways to reduce your car insurance premiums instead of calling Geico. Geico Direct. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Before we built one part of the new Dodge Intrepid, we built the whole car digitally. That way, we were able to test more than 2,000 engines, numerous suspensions, a multitude of seats, and a vast number of headlamps. The result is 1 in a million. The new Dodge Intrepid. We're changing everything. Again. Lease a well-equipped Intrepid for as low as $289 a month.
Cubs fans, now you can show off your pride with merchandise from the official Cubs gift catalog, like official Cubs jackets, jerseys, shirts, and hats. To get your free copy of the Cubs gift catalog, visit the Cubs website at www.cubs.com or call 773-404-CUBS. Cubs fans, come early and save big with the Cubs Early Bird Discount. During the first hour, the gates are open. Enjoy 25% off all food and non-alcoholic beverages. For hot dogs, pizza, Pepsi, and more, catch the Cubs Early Bird Discount.
Just a few miles from the white sandy beaches here in South Florida. 7-7 game in the ninth. The designated closer now, Jay Powell, tries to shut the Cubs down in the ninth.
Well, Powell had a great year out of the pen last year as a setup man for Rob Nen, but this year he is the man. And the Cubs go through the middle of the order looking for at least one. And with that in mind, the bullpen up and going. And if they get one, you can bet it'll be Rod Beck looking for save number 200.
Mickey Morandini takes a strike. Mickey's been on base 3 times today. He's walked twice. He's singled home a run.
It'll be Terry Adams if the Cubs don't score.
Morandini slaps it foul down the left field line. A 7-7 game. Boy, who would have thunk it after 1 inning? The Marlins exploded for 6. Jeremy Gonzalez was knocked from the game without recording an out. But the battling Bear Cubs have tied the game at 7. And now Morandini evens the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pop foul back again. How tough is the role going to be for Powell now? He may not get nearly as many chances as a Rob Nen got in saving ball games here, but
well, it's a different mindset when you know you're the man instead of the guy who gets the game to the man. It is a difficult adjustment. And that
rightfully called
was right down the middle.
He must have been looking for something else, as Morandini was frozen by this Powell pitch.
Well, this one tails back over the plate, and it's a dandy of a fastball. And Sammy, who hasn't done much today, can turn all that around by getting out in front of a Powell fastball.
You're right, Sammy 0 for 4 today with a couple of strikeouts, but again, in his career at this stadium, historically, he's fared very well. 6 home runs, 17 runs batted in 25 games here. And, of course, a big bust from him would give the Cubs the 1-run lead. He's got to face 26-year-old right-hander Jay Powell. And Sammy had a home run cut. They got him from the Baltimore Orioles in exchange for Brett Barbery. And Powell last year, very good year, 7-2, a .328 earned run average in 74 games. Young man born in Meridian, Mississippi. And now Sammy behind the count, 1-2. Doesn't seem to be a whole lot of guesswork with this guy. Here it comes.
Well, most guys who are closers either throw exceptionally hard or have a trick pitch, like a split finger. Or in the case of Jeff Shaw from Cincinnati, who had such a great year last year, a real good slider. But I don't think Powell's out there to try to fool you. I think he's out there to try to throw it by you.
And he does to Sammy, who swung over it. 2 strikeouts, 2 outs, bases empty in the 9th.
That was a real good hard sinker, and that one almost got away from Charles Johnson. Sammy wasn't close on that one. And the reaction of Sosa. 3 Ks today.
And sent on Mark Grace, the final Cubs hope in the top of the 9th. Again, the score is still 7-7.
Jose Hernandez in the on-deck circle. He's marking keep it alive. That's a spot occupied by Bob Patterson. But I think they've gotten just about what they want to out of Bob.
An inning and 2/3, 1 walk. And that's it. Two balls, no strikes to Mark Grace. Hit hard but foul. Was a tough place for a left-hand hitter to make his living. 345 down the line, 385 to the right center field, that power alley. 404, then 434 out in the Bermuda's Triangle by the National League scoreboards. And then it's straight across to 330 down the left field line. And now the count 2-2. In the Marlins 9th, they'll have the heart of their order. Jackson, Sheffield, and Kotsay. The 2-2. Oh, it hit him right in the back, I think. Is he all right? Boy, a bright, sunshiny day. I don't know if Grace saw it until the very last instant, and he just did turn his back.
Watch it again as this one sails up and in, and Mark Grace takes it on the back. I am hoping it didn't get any part of the elbow, and you can bet that it's still talking to him. And right now that hand might be a little numb. It might have gone off the back and right off the back of his arm, and the hand doesn't look too good. Take another look at it. Powell throws awfully hard, and this one looked right in the tricep.
And he's already playing with a broken toe. Now his right arm's bugging him too. And Grace aboard on a hit batsman here in the 9th inning. And Bob Patterson's going to be lifted for Jose Hernandez here.
Jose, one of the few middle infielders that can give you a lot of power off the bench.
Marlins outfield very deep. They don't want anything to get to the gaps or get to the wall, even though Grace is hobbled with the broken toe. They want the Cubs to patch together a couple of hits in order to score that run if they're going to do it. And the count now 2-0.
The problem is, if you do favor that toe at all, that's when the hamstring might give you some problems. So Jose hits it out of the park. Mark won't have to run very hard.
Jose smacks it into center. Kotsay coming on, plays it on a hop. So playing deep there costs the Marlins an out, perhaps. And Hernandez off the bench with a pinch single. Sends Grace to second, and now Jeff Blauser the batter.
You see Kotsay able to knock it down, and you'll give up the base hit. You can live with that. You can't allow the ball to go over your head. So in this case, it did cost him a single, but Doobie coming out now to talk with Powell. And the question with Mark Grace is, on the base hit, is he going to have enough to score? The one arm in the outfield, the very good arm, is Sheffield in right.
Well, maybe Blouse will zap one down the left field line, and Grace can crawl home. That would be nice. And we'll see how Blauser fares against Powell here. A long afternoon in South Florida, but it could be a very profitable one if the Cubs can pick up a run here in the ninth. For Beck and Adams are ready in the Cubs bullpen.
And the reason why the game is still tied, the left arm of Lance Johnson on a great throw to Tyler Houston to cut down Gary Sheffield. And that was an inning with runners at first and third and nobody out. The Cub bullpen really stepped up.
So now first and second, 2 down, and Blauser takes low and in. 1 ball, no strikes. Kevin Ory waits on deck. Powell retired Mickey and Sammy to start the ninth. Then hit Mark Grace with a pitch and gave up the pinch single to Jose. Base hit left field. Grace comes toward third. They're going to green light him. Floyd up. Here comes the throw. It's not in time. And the Cubs take the lead. Another clutch 2-out hit. And Mark Grace, I think I can. He does score to give the Cubs the lead.
And it certainly helps to have a converted first baseman in left field as Blauser rifles the ball to left. And no hesitation from Tom Gamboa. He says, let's test that arm. The arm of Floyd, no match for the golden wheels of Mark Grace as the Cubs take the lead.
He's still shaking that arm. I think it's really bothering him, but it feels a lot better than he may have scored the winning run in the game.
It will indeed be Rod Beck coming on for save number 200. Only 20 relievers in the history of this game have as many as 200 saves.
So here's Ory, bouncing ball towards short. Renteria gobbles it up, flips to second to retire the side. But again, Steve, the Cubs team resiliency in 3 innings or 3 games with 2 men out. Jeff Blauser with a clutch 2-out single, and the gritty veteran Mark Grace scores the go-ahead run in the top of the ninth.
Daddy, come on and Mom sing me a song.
Can I? A single career gal for stepkids who need me. A hot-burning hunk.
Now, Kelly, don't tease me.
Do it, kiss me, don't think it's bored. These are just some of the things we adore.
Monday, April 20th at 8 on WGN.
A lot of times when something goes wrong with your car, you know it right away. But some parts, like shock absorbers, tend to wear out gradually over time. So gradually that many drivers fail to realize just how worn their shocks have become. So rather than wait till it's painfully obvious that you need new shocks, stop by your nearest AutoZone. Right now, when you buy 3 Gabriel Gas Rider shocks or struts, you get the 4th one free, only at AutoZone.
Well, my Discover card statement reads like a wish list. What? Toys. I like toys. I love pinball machines. This will improve my golfing. It is unbelievable to me how fortunate I've been in my life, and I can't ask for anything more. Discover card cashback bonus, no competition.
It pays to Discover. To apply, call 1-800-IT-PAYS-2. Accepted where you see the notice sign.
Don't know if this is the biggest comeback in Cubs history, but certainly in the top 5. Down 6-0, Steve. The Cubs have an 8-7 lead as the 2 keys in this game, Jeff Blauser and Mark Grace, 2 veterans hungry for wins and a winning attitude provided in the ninth.
And Mark Grace trying to shake off the effects of getting hit, and Rod Beck, 37 saves last year, looking for save number 1 this year.
But he's got the tough heart of the order for the Marlins to deal with. Jackson, Sheffield, and Kotze here in the ninth. And this kid, Ryan Jackson, again, might be the key man in the ball game.
Rod came on yesterday for an inning, gave up a run on 2 hits.
That just missed outside. Low on 1. Change, bouncing ball up the middle, base hit. the tying run. Sheffield, the potential winning run. He's homered, he's doubled, and he's missed 2 home runs by an eyelash, and Beck thought he had a strike right there. One ball, no strikes. Almost hit it. It's 2-0.
Well, let's be careful with this one. Gary Sheffield has hit 1 home run, just missed 2 others. So he is pretty much dialed in today.
Jackson, a good lead at first. Here comes the 2-0. Breaking ball, and he snapped off a dandy. Pause for a quick station identification.
This is America's #1 sports station, WGN, Chicago.
Now the question is, if you're Jim Leyland, do you send Jackson with a 3-1 count to try to stay out of the double play?
He doesn't. And Sheffield takes ball 4. First and second, nobody out in the bottom of the 9th.
See a pinch runner for Gary Sheffield, and we're going to see Jim Riggleman come out, and I think he's maybe questioning the location of the pitch, although you can't really say much about it or you get the old heave-ho. With runners at first and second, nobody out for Mark Kotsay.
Dave Bird, the new pinch runner at first for the Marlins. So Bird runs for Sheffield here. He's the potential winning run. Mark Kotsay, 2 for 4 today. Beck fakes a pickoff at second. Cubs expecting a bunt. Have Grace and Ori in on the grass at the corners. Kotsay shows the bunt, lays it down, fouled on the third base line. Similar situation, Steve, last time up. Kotsay, though, didn't bunt, just sort of served the ball into left field to move Gary Sheffield into scoring position.
Well, different in that he only had 1 man on. But this being the 9th inning, Jim Leyland electing to allow him to bunt. I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to slap it through the left side. But you still have to play in if you're Kevin Ori.
The 0-1. There's the bunt. It's a good one. Beck only 1 play. He'll go to first in time. Good sacrifice from Kotsay. Now the Marlins have the potential tying and winning runs in scoring position.
A great bunt by Kotsay. He does this perfectly. And only 1 play. Rod Beck going to first, and the call was Tyler Houston telling him with the play in front of him, you have to go to first base.
So the Marlins advance the runners. It costs them an out. And Charles Johnson, the hitter.
And you have to play the infield in, although they're just about halfway in the middle.
Rod Beck's chase for number 200 in the save column. It's not been easy today, but he gets ahead of CJ.
Well, a lot of pressure right now on Tyler Houston. Beck uses that split finger fastball. A lot of those wind up in the dirt. You've got the tying run just 90 feet away.
Just missed the outside edge.
That one just off the corner.
1 ball, 1 strike. That one did catch the corner, and he took something off.
forkball and doesn't do much, but did enough to fool Johnson. You get by Johnson, you walk Counsell and take your chance with Booty.
The 1-2 pitch. Foul back our way. He was right on that pitch.
Rod Beck left that one right over the middle of the plate. Johnson has been known to strike out. This is not the best contact hitter on this team.
He's done it once today.
And you need one here.
Yes, sir, Bob. 1-2. Got it. 2 down. He just reared back and said, here it is, kid. If you can hit it, I'll tip my cap to you.
Just a plain old heater. Nothing fancy there. It's in a perfect spot now. The question is, what do you do with Counsell? They're meeting at the mound. Blauser coming in. Apparently they're going to pitch to him, fearing that if you walk him, you face Eisenreich. Counsell, a good contact hitter, but now with the luxury of being able to play the infield back.
Here's Counsell, 0 for 2. Beck set to go off the line. The forkball missed low. Beck glares in at Houston to get that sign. Now the 1-0. Right through there he took it. That thing was belt high, too. And Beck's battle back even.
Little breaking ball, a high strike.
1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch. Forkball, and he missed it by a foot. And now Beck 1 strike away.
From save number 200.
The Cubs leading. They were down 6-0. Marlins had him second and third with 1 out. Beck struck out Johnson. And now he's 1 pitch away, perhaps, from helping the Cubs to win this series. The kick, the 1-2. He got him! Save number 200! And keep that white flag flying, folks, at Wrigley. An 8-7 comeback win for the Cubs. His 200th career save. And boy, oh boy, Steve, these guys just keep on keeping on. There's no quitting this bunch so far this year.
This was a great game, and certainly everybody just ecstatic. More important than save number 200 for Rod Beck. The Cubs came back from 6 down with bases loaded and nobody out 6 down, and they came back to win a big one in South Florida. So for the first time since 1996, the Cubs over 500. Look at the reaction of Rod Beck. He's as pumped as everybody else on this Cub team, and it'll be a happy flight on the way back to Chicago. And look at the dugout.
Boy, oh boy, you talk about a team win. Everybody pitched in for this one. 8-7, your final score. The Cubs beat the Marlins. Back with more right after this.
What do you look for in grass seed? Quick results?
We seeded it with Scott.
Last time the Cubs overcame a 6-run deficit to win was August 2nd, 1993 against the Pirates at Wrigley Field. The Cubs were down 6-0. The Marlins had the bases loaded in the first, but Chicago comes back to win it 8-7. Bob Patterson beats Jay Powell. Rod Beck picks up his 200th career save. And this final pitch of the ball game, boy, oh boy, it was huge from Beck. And, of course, Jeff Blauser's base hit was huge as well in the top half of the 9th inning. Blauser, the veteran shortstop, comes through with a clutch 2-out hit in the 9th. And Mark Grace with just enough, that sore foot, that sore arm and all, to beat the play at the plate. The Cubs took the lead 8-7, and then Rod Beck punches out Craig Counsell to retire the side. And the Cubs will be flying home sky high tonight as we open up a series against the Expos tomorrow. Our next telecast is tomorrow when Montreal comes a-calling. Steve Traxel takes the hill for the Cubbies. Leadoff man kicks off our coverage beginning at 1 o'clock from the friendly confines. Yes, indeed, the white flags are flying again at that great old ballpark on the north side. 8-7, your final score for Steve Stone and our entire crew. This is Chip Carey. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon.
Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN.